read aloud in court at his arraignment, at which point the indictment will be unsealed. 7 News will be keeping a close eye all afternoon for you on the arraignment. For the very latest, you can head to our website, WTRF.com. We also have more coming up tonight on 7 News at 5 and 7 News at 6. There is another Republican candidate for governor in West Virginia. This morning in Jefferson County, West Virginia, Attorney General Patrick Morrisey announced his intention to run for the state's top job. Current Governor Jim Justice is term limited. Morrisey is perhaps best known for winning a U.S. Supreme Court case against the EPA regarding coal issues.
expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Follow your dreams. Yeah. Wanna get a mansion, a jacuzzi, a theater to watch my movies, couple whips and lots of fancy things. The kids they call it Goonies.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome into the Pine Room Podcast here on the Watchdog. Happy Tuesday. We're almost halfway through the week. The weather's not too bad out there. I think it's going to be all right for the rest of the week. I think it's going to be actually up in the 70s, so you're going to be experiencing a nice springtime week before probably things start to rain again. But anyway, we are here on the Pine Room Podcast on the Watchdog. Myself, Coach, and Jarrett in the studio waiting for Matt to get done with work. He will be over shortly, and we'll be back in the skipper's chair there in the studio. But you got us three for right now. But we got quite the show for you today. We're going to have Chase Harler calling in here at 12:35. As well as Roy C. Mercer and possibly Dan from Slovenia, depending on if he's listening right now. I'm sure he is. But we want to give a thank you to the Watchdog team, Rocky, Kayleen, Hauer, everyone involved here, Bobby, and Lola, everyone that's been around the office and has been so gracious to let us do this show. I know this is kind of repetitive for us to do every show, but it's worth giving the thank yous to everybody that has made this happen, because I don't think I imagined I'd be on the radio this time last year. So, as always, you're listening to WKKX, WVLY, WKKX FM 98.1 AM 1600, WVLY 97.7 and AM 1370. And of course, you can listen online if you're at home or maybe you're just at your computer at thewatchdognetwork.com. You can listen on both WVLY and WKKX. And then if you want to watch us live from the studio, you can go to the Pine Room Podcast on YouTube and watch us live here in the studio. We got a camera and some live chat that you can come in here, ask questions, comment on the show, stuff like that. But, yeah, you can listen to us and watch us live here on YouTube. But we're the Pine Room Podcast. We have things like the Pine Room Podcast that we're actually going to record tonight after the show. Tuesdays are our long days. We have Bettor's Last Stand, which comes out on Fridays. That's our sports betting show. I'm choking on my own spit. And Soup and Stuff, which is something that one of our guys, Soup, does. He sits around with business professionals, athletes, people that are in the professional sphere, and talks about their life and talks about what's going on with them and highlights their business or maybe what they're doing in their life. But you can go listen to all that. We've got over 107 videos on YouTube and go watch. We have we just did the 4th Belmont Savings Bank Pine Room Fitness Challenge that you can watch on our YouTube. It's pretty funny, and you can kind of watch us get into shape over the past couple of months. But you can follow us on social media at the Pine Room Podcast. Email us at contact@thepineroompodcast.com. Email topics, questions, comments, anything you might have to send us our way. And if you got any topics for us to take on there, talk about on the show, you can do that as well. But and then if you want to get some gear for the Pine Room, if you want to get some stuff so you can rock out in the neighborhood and get people asking you what you got on, you can go to the pineroomshop.com. That's the pineroomshop.com, thepineroomshop.com. Get all your gear. We're going to come up with a summer package here soon. So you're going to get your tank tops, your visors, your T-shirts, shorts, all kinds of stuff, duffel bags, things you can take on vacation with you, because I'm assuming that's coming right around the corner for a lot of people. But we are the Pine Room Podcast. We're glad to be here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, and I'll let Matt get into that as we move forward on with the show. But just to give a little preview, we're going to be talking about a bunch of different stuff: indictments, derailments, spilled beer, balloons, equine nomads, for those of you that don't know this scientific name for a horse, and equine is a horse. Extinct pachyderms, rocket launches, and mini Martians, all coming up on today's PRP. I'm going to talk about some Masters, going to talk about best bets, the NCAA Championship recap, MLB and Michael Grove versus the Rockies recap. Like I said, we got Chase Harler coming on 12:35, talk about the TBT and his season in Hungary. And then we got some other local news, some MLB talk, and then a recap of the men's national championship game coming up here on the Watchdog. But we're glad to be here. It's going to be a fun day. We got a lot to talk about.
Don't forget about the burger at Generations. You cover everything, but tell people to go out and get the burger.
Oh, yeah, out there at Generations. If you want to get a burger, it's on the official menu at Generations. It's on their brand new menu. It's the Pine Room Burger. You can get that. That's on Texas toast. You can get some smashed tater tots with some queso, boom boom sauce, pepper jack cheese, all on Texas toast. It's a pretty good burger.
Might be the hottest burger of Generations.
Yeah, it's really good. We're not just saying that because it's ours. It's actually really, really good. I think my favorite part probably is the queso. I think the queso makes it.
Yeah, it's a good burger. It's not too messy. It sounds like it'd be a lot. It's not too messy, but it'll
fill
enjoy it.
you up, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It's a heck of a burger. And Luke gives you a heck of a chunk of meat, too. Really good burger.
Yeah, he's not cheating you on your burger.
No, it's a good burger. So that's our good buddy Luke DePlaga and his dad Mike at Generations, good friends of ours, good friends of the Pine Room Podcast. We've done a couple shows out there. Actually did some really cool high school shows, football shows. Way back in the fall. Boy, it seems like that's been a long time ago, hasn't it?
Yeah, really long time.
We're now through football season and basketball season.
Yeah, that was our. We think we were busy. Now it was that time in the fall with the shows and the traveling. All that was a little wild, but I think we've settled down a little bit. I don't know about a lot, but watching the Cubs and the Reds, two of the best teams in baseball right now.
Hey, the Reds
throw the ball around a little
bit.
Reds
are 3-1. Reds are 3-1. Cubs are 1-3.
Real quick, what I want to he flipped the ball to a guy that wasn't there. Awesome. One thing I want to say real quick is that our format is changing just a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but we're going to do 2 lies and a Florida guy today. We're going to do the time machine, and we're going to do the PRP in space. We're going to have all that in today's episode. Normally, when we go in the time machine, we talk about movies that are coming up, or movies that have come out. We talk about music that came out, talk about events in film and television, weddings, all that kind of stuff for famous people. We're actually going to move that to our Thursday show, and then on Thursday we're going to talk about maybe movies and TV shows that have come out, that are coming out, maybe some trailers that have hit the news. I know that a couple movies have come out recently that we're going to talk about. So we're going to move a little bit of that stuff to Thursday so that we're not jam-packing the show, and then on Thursday we're running out of stuff to talk about. But we're going to move that around, but we're still going to get your 2 lies and a Florida guy, your Pine Room time machine, talk about events in history, and then Pine Room in space today. And then we come back on Thursday, we're going to talk about film and television history, some other stuff that we were fitting into this show that we're just going to move over to the Thursday show. But we have a surplus of things we want to talk about. It's just a matter of getting it all out in a timely manner. But yeah, we're having fun here. Matt will be joining us shortly. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Pine Room Podcast here on the Watchdog. Voices that you're going to hear for quite a while now, every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. If you haven't listened, our Monday show from 2 to 3 is all about sports, all about local sports, regional sports, talk about betting, things like that. And then Tuesday and Thursday, we talk about all manner of things. We have all different guests on, and it's a bit of a potpourri of radio shows. So you can get to know kind of our format here, and hopefully we're going to get some more interaction with some of the things that we do here. But yeah, we're excited. We're I don't know how everybody else is feeling, but we got a big day tomorrow. We're actually headed out of town, headed to Elkins for a very important meeting about something we can't exactly give any details on yet, but we are headed there tomorrow with myself, and I. Myself, Jarrett, Coach, and Soup. We're heading down there to Elkins. Soup's going to be driving 5.5 hours, which to him is like a ride to the grocery store. So we're going to be meeting him in Elkins for a very important meeting. So we'll hopefully next week we'll be able to give some details on that. But anything else I didn't hit?
No, we're you really covered a lot that we're going to be doing. But today we're going to talk, here in this first segment, we're going to talk a little sports. I know Jubb really gets into that. He'll really pipe in on that one. But put a ribbon and a bow on the basketball season as the Connecticut Huskies dominantly once again claimed the NCAA Division I National Championship trophy last night. They were very impressive the last month. They were incredibly impressive. I didn't realize they were that good. You follow teams throughout the year, and you don't realize how good teams really are because you don't see them that often. But they were just absolutely impressive. Just their pressure defense, and I've heard some radio shows today talking about how they force teams to try to throw inside, and then they've got those big guys inside those big trees that very difficult to shoot over. Their guards extended San Diego State's guards out, always putting pressure on them. Their outside shots, they try to make them go inside where their big trees are, which makes it difficult. And one thing they don't do, they don't give up offensive rebounds. You're one shot and out, so you better shoot the ball well. And I will say this, Connecticut is very, very, very good. I'm not going to take anything away from them. But San Diego State did not shoot well at all last night. They went through several stretches that they did not score. They just shot terrible. And if, and I said it before, and it's an elementary fact, and I heard J.R. Batista talking about it. He said, and a lot of other basketball guys, you got to put the ball in the hoop. I mean, you got to make your shots. And they had chances to make shots. They just didn't make them. And they had made those shots, on their way to getting to the championship game. But they didn't make them last night. If they would have had a better shooting percentage, that game would have been much closer. But that's just the way all sports are. Got to score runs. You got to score points in football. It's just elementary thing, but they did not shoot well. But Connecticut is really, really good.
There was no way they were losing that game. Even when San Diego State cut it back to, I think it was 6 late in the game, they were not going to lose that game, especially with that dude on fire, the guy that won the most outstanding. Sonongo, yeah.
He's unbelievable. But the other dude too, the 7'2" guy, that Donovan Clingan.
Yeah, 7'2". I was wondering how tall he was. I couldn't remember.
He's unbelievable. He's only a freshman. That's what's unbelievable.
That's
and they only lose out of all their starters. They only lose Tristan Newton, the point guard. That's the only one they lose. They've got everybody back. Now that's on paper. They've got everybody back. Well, I can't imagine anybody going to the transfer portal. What else?
Yeah, I mean, where else are you going to go?
Would you want to go?
How could you go anywhere better?
And then I don't know if any of them will go in the draft. Any of those younger guys will go in the NBA draft. But my goodness, if they bring all those guys back, there's a really good chance that they will repeat as national champions.
Maybe some of them will transfer to Nova.
Nova Southeastern?
Yeah, maybe they're just not Villanova, Nova Southeastern.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
They'll go down.
I don't know about that, but they are really good. They're going to be good, for the next couple years. At least next year, they're going to be really, really good with those guys back. So that puts a wrap on college basketball. Connecticut covered every game in the tournament comfortably, and the game went over the total. I played the game under the total. It looks like for a while that it might stay under the total, but it ended up going over the total. Total was 131, 132, right in that area. Ended up 76-59. I did hit a board, though. I hit a nice board with the guy from Connecticut hitting one out of the 2 foul shots at the end, and then San Diego State missed they had their backups in, and a big backup really threw a bad 3-pointer up, and then obviously Connecticut just ran the clock out. So I hit a nice $100 board, which made me happy. I didn't do well on my bets, but luckily hit that board and put basketball to bed now. That's it. OVAC wrapped up with their All-Star games on Sunday, so high school sports put the basketballs away for a while, and college done, Division II with Nova Southeastern winning, and then Connecticut winning the Division I championship. So that's it, and we did stay up, and way past my bedtime, but I wanted to stay up and watch Michael Grove pitch last night. Jarrett and I, sat and watched Michael Grove, and I'll tell you what, that poor guy can't catch a break.
He was really good. He really was.
He just can't catch a break. It's unbelievable. Either he has guys behind him that can't play defense, which at that level is unbelievable. We remember Gavin Lux last year, Trey Turner last year, killed him in the field. And then last night, I mean, I'm telling you, folks, for you folks that did not see him pitch, he was masterful through 4 innings. Absolutely masterful. He gave up a 1-out single to Chris Bryant in the first.
At the beginning of the game.
Then he retired 11 straight, including striking out the side in the 2nd inning. And then he struck out Chris Bryant in the 4th inning, but he set 11 straight batters down for the Rockies, and he was absolutely in total control. And then Chris Taylor hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the third to put him up 2-0, and we were all fired up because we said if he could get through 5, he'll get the win.
And finally got some good run support.
Yeah, and he would have gotten a lot more if they wouldn't have taken him out because
Yep.
they ended up winning the game 13-4.
Yeah, 13-4, and it sucks because in the 5th he goes lead off walked and walks the next guy on a pitch up that could have been strike 3, and then it would have been a double play because they threw the runner out at second, but of course it was a walk, and then you go ground ball down the third base line where Max Muncy should have been playing, but for some reason was 15 feet off the line with a right-handed batter up. I just still don't understand that, and just a lot of bad luck for him. I feel for him. It stinks because he probably could have got through at least 2 more innings the way he was going.
He was good. Yeah, and to recap that inning, Jarrett was just talking about, he had cruised through the first 4, and then he got to the 5th, and facing the number 5 hitter, Ryan McMahon, he went a full count with him. And he did walk him. It was a legitimate walk. And, anytime you get a leadoff walk or, walk the leadoff guy, that usually leads to trouble. Then Mike Moustakis came up next, and he had a full count on him. And honestly, he threw a breaking ball that literally they showed the replay, and they give you that box that is a strike zone. And that ball was literally inside the box
right at the top of the zone.
Top of the strike zone. And then Will Smith, the Dodgers catcher, threw. McMahon was running on the pitch, so obviously Will Smith would not have thrown the ball down to second base if he thought it was a ball.
Yeah.
He would have just eaten it, and it would add first and second, obviously, when they drew ball 4. But he threw to second thinking that it was – and the catcher knows better than anybody – thinking it was strike 3, and he threw McMahon out by 2 steps. So instead of having
2 outs, nobody on,
he got just a terrible call. So they had first and second with no outs, and then he had Elias Diaz in a 1-2 count.
Yeah, 0-2.
Oh, was it 0-2? I thought it was 1-2. Okay, 0-2 count, and threw a really good pitch, a slider on the outside part of the plate, and he just reached out and poked it down in third base line. It hit off Max Muncy's glove, and if Muncy's over in a normal position, it's a routine 5-4-3 double play or 5-3 double play. One or the
it
other.
May have even been a triple play. Seriously, it was right. It was literally right on the bag. And if he's in a normal position, he fields that. And I still just don't understand the positioning. It makes no sense to me.
And the thing about it is, after he threw ball 4 to Moustakis, the bad call, Michael turned to Chris Taylor, or I'm sorry, to Will Smith, the catcher, and said, "Where was that? Up?" Right after the pitch, because he threw him out. He thought he had a double play, and you could tell that Michael was really upset about it, upset about the call. And then when they came out to take him out, he was not happy walking off the mound. You could tell whether he was not happy, obviously, of coming out, but with the umpire and just his continued tough luck. And then the Dodgers go on to score
13 runs.
Like 11 more runs, and at least he didn't get the loss, which is good. But I'm telling you right now, Michael Grove's going to be around for a long time for the Dodgers. I won't be shocked at all if he's in the top rotation here soon, depending on the injury to what's the guy's name?
Ryan Pepio.
Ryan Pepio, yeah. So, Michael, great job. Wheeling should be really proud of Michael Grove. He looked unbelievable.
He looked really, really good.
He was fantastic. And his slider, what they call the Mountaineer.
Yeah, they named it his slider now, or I can't. It was a slider or his. I don't think he throws a cutter. I'm not sure if he does.
Like a nasty 2-seam fastball.
It's a tight. I think it's a slider, his tight slider that kind of just sweeps across the zone. And I think it was the pitching coach that named it the Mountaineer. So the broadcasters last night were saying throw him the Mountaineer, which was really cool to hear on a Dodgers broadcast. So.
Yeah, and then I talked to Coach Goodnight, Scott Goodnight, who is a pitching guru here in the Valley. He coaches at Lindsley and was one of the big reasons we won 3 state titles with the American Legion when I was coaching, because he's so good with the pitchers. And he said the Dodgers brass loves Michael Grove. They just absolutely love him.
They do.
And they know the potential there. So. Good things ahead for Michael. He'll probably, I would imagine, he'll probably start over the weekend. Hopefully it's an earlier start because that's rough for me. But great job, Michael. Proud of you, and everybody back here surely is. So it was exciting once again, though, to see him on the mound.
Yeah, before we go to break here, I forgot to mention it while you guys are talking about March Madness, but I want to just do a little celebratory action for Miss Joy Adams, who took home the big screen TV in our March Madness contest here at the Watchdog. Congratulations, Joy. I'm not sure how we're going to be getting that to you. That's not for us to make that decision, but you'll be getting a big screen TV. I actually saw it out in the lobby when I came in the office yesterday. So you got a big screen TV coming your way. Congratulations, and thank you to everybody that participated in the March Madness bracket. We are going to be doing hopefully some more stuff like that in the future. So thank you to everybody that participated. We are going to take a quick break here. Then Matt will hopefully be back with us here when we get back. But we are listening right now to the Pine Room Podcast right here on the Watchdog.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. State Attorney General Patrick Morrissey ready to give higher office a shot.
Today, I am stepping forward to announce that I'm running for the Republican nomination for governor in West Virginia.
That's Morrissey from last hour on Metro News Talk Line. He also addressed a crowd of supporters at a Jefferson County hotel to launch his gubernatorial bid. Morrissey has served 3 terms as the state's Attorney General and believes he has a record that is exemplary for what West Virginia needs in the governor's position.
I'm the only proven conservative in this race with a deep record of fighting and winning against the political elites, successfully defending our West Virginia values, and accomplishing some of the big things West Virginians care about.
He joins an already crowded field for that Republican nomination for governor that includes Secretary of State Mac Warner, State Auditor J.B. McCuskey, businessman Chris Miller, who's the son of Congresswoman Carol Miller, and Delegate Moore Capito, son of Senator Shelley Moore Capito. Elsewhere, a sad day in Upshur County as news breaks this morning of the death of longtime Sheriff Virgil Miller. Miller died in the hospital last night.
I was with him yesterday, so I knew he'd had some real health issues that we had to get figured out, but didn't expect this.
That is his Chief Deputy Mike Coppin in Upshur County. Miller was in his 5th term as Upshur County Sheriff and was the longest-serving active sheriff in West Virginia. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. An announcement this morning, the largest clean ammonia manufacturing facility in the country will be built in Mingo County. Adams Fork Energy has announced plans for that multi-billion-dollar production facility in Mingo County to begin in 2024. A press release announcing the plan indicates that plans for a production capacity are just over 2.1 million metric tons with optional additional capacity. The project's expected to support 2,000 construction jobs. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Get 11% off everything for your landscaping at Menards. Start planning. Gladiolus bulbs are $2.99 after rebate for a 30-pack. Then, get mulching. Wood mulch is just $2 a bag after sale price and rebate. And the finishing touch with the Anoka LED solar light by Patria Lighting. It's 4 times brighter than standard solar lights. Now just $3.99 after sale price and 11% off. Good through April 9th. Savings are mail-in rebate. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
How much could a cyber attack cost your business? The costs stemming from a cyber attack can vary tremendously, but are extremely significant. Recent studies have shown that the average cost of a data breach to small business can range from $120,000 to $1.2 million. In addition to financial loss, companies also suffer downtime, lost opportunities, and data recovery expenses that can all quickly add up. Could your organization survive a cyber incident? If you are unsure if you are doing enough to protect your data, reputation, and dollars from cyber criminals, contact the team at Omni Strategic Technologies today. Omni has the right tools and support to help keep your business protected. Call 304-242-7600 and schedule your free consultation today, or visit omniperforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only cybersecurity and advisory firm that the Watchdog trusts.
Why? Just think about it. Why is the #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers to blowers. And you'll find service from experienced professionals. Real steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Everyone appreciates the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe. Even Governor Justice.
Howard, you're a good man, and I appreciate all you do every day. Thank you, sir.
Weekdays, 7 to 10 a.m. on the Watchdog.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
All right, welcome back in Pine Room Podcast. I made it over across the river, navigating the difficult terrain. I'm here along with Coach Jarrett and Jubb. Thanks for holding it down for me, guys. We are joined by a Wheeling native, a local legend, mountaineer, proud mountaineer, and he's playing over in Europe right now, making us all proud. You guys were just talking about Michael Grove making the area proud. Well, this guy's made the area proud as well. We are joined by Chase Harler. He's going to talk a little bit about his wonderful career over in Europe, as well as his involvement with the TBT coming to Wheeling, which is very exciting for everyone around the area. Chase, welcome to the Pine Room Podcast. You've been on a couple of times, but we appreciate you joining us here on the radio today. How's everything going?
Everything's good. I appreciate the introduction. The only thing you did mess up was a Moundsville native.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Indirect Wheeling native. You went to Wheeling Central. Close enough.
Little person.
We might get a call from John Harler about that one. Oh, I apologies. I'll send an apology in the mail immediately after the show. Yes.
Okay,
So Moundsville native and Wheeling Central legend Chase Harler joins us.
Thank you. That's much better. Thank
All
you.
right, perfect. How's everything going? What's going on in Hungary? How's the team doing?
Yeah, things are going well. We just wrapped up the regular season, 21-5. Finished second in the league as far as just regular season. We start playoffs next week. We actually have a little, they call it the Cup in Europe.
Right.
So, you have your regular season, you have your actual playoffs, and you have a Cup finals as well, which the Cup is an in-season tournament kind of to keep things competitive throughout the regular season. So we're in the Final Four of that. So we'll play Saturday and Sunday of this weekend, and then the following Thursday we start playoffs. So exciting time. That also means I get to come home soon, so that's also exciting as well.
Yes, exactly. So are you guys going to host those Cup games, or do you know yet?
Yeah, so the Cup it's a pretty cool concept. There's two divisions in Hungary,
right,
as far as professional basketball, and then so the Cup is at one centralized location, which is in Budapest.
Oh, nice.
Which is the capital city. I've been there 5 or 6 times. It's beautiful. I'm about 2 hours south of that, so the A division and the B division, their top 4 teams will all play in a centralized location, which will be pretty cool.
Oh, that's great. That's very similar to the European soccer leagues that do the Cup like that with all the divisions involved. That's pretty cool stuff.
Exactly.
Remind everybody the name of your team, because I told these guys, I know it's PVSK Vilia. Does that sound right? Or am I even close?
Right, you're PVSK Panthers. So the Viola is the kind of decipher us, because it's another team in town that's under H as well. So yeah, you're spot.
All right. Good stuff. All right. Well, best of luck as you continue that on. When will you finish up season and be back stateside?
Yeah, so hopefully, if everything goes according to plan and, we win the championship, it'll probably be mid to late May, probably closer to late May. But, if I'm home a little earlier, that's probably not a good thing, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see you down the road, not too soon now.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
So let's change gears here a little bit and talk about your involvement with the TBT. Everybody's pretty pumped up in the area. TBT going to have games here at the West Banco Arena here in Wheeling. Tell us your involvement. Tell us how things are going, and tell us what we can expect for this really cool tournament in the when is it? The summertime? Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. So the one of the guys that I know from the TBT reached out to me before any of this even came about. And, they were thinking about moving the location from Charleston because they've had it there the last 3 years, I believe. He mentioned Wheeling to me, and I'm not sure if it was all my doing, but I gave a good little marketing speech about how, we used to have events like this in Wheeling, the CRC. They host the MEC tournament in Wheeling. So, I put in a good word for that. And, the ticket sales come out, I believe April 15th, but they haven't decided the exact date when it's going to be in Wheeling. They're still waiting for the TV times from ESPN. So it's either going to be mid-July, which would be, I believe it's like the 14th or 13th or the 17th, or the end of July. We're still waiting to hear about that. But, yeah, as far as my involvement, I know for a fact I'm going to be doing most of the logistics side of it, setting up events prior to us playing in Wheeling, camps, exhibition games, raising money for our expenses along those lines. And, we haven't spoke about roster, but, I have a pretty good feeling I'll be on the team. And, I'm really excited to have it in Wheeling.
So that'll be the regional for our area, correct? Like you'll have how many teams will be in Wheeling? 8 or I don't remember.
Let me. There'll be 3 games. So you have to win 3 to get out of your region. So what would that be? Well,
at least
16 teams.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That's really cool.
16 teams. So, because when they used to have it in Charleston, we used to split I guess you can call them like the host team with the HERDAT, which is the Marshall alumni. Where now we're the sole host team in the Wheeling region.
That's really cool. So people are going to be pretty pumped up about that. When do you expect rosters and things to be kind of finalized? Because I'm sure everybody will be looking to see if their favorite Mountaineers on there.
Yeah, we've had a few meetings about that. More so, honestly, than more so like the business side of it. How we're going to raise money. How we're going to have some sort of events. Like I said, exhibition games, camps along those lines. I would have to assume the roster will be set within the next, I want to say, month. It sounds easy, right? Where the alumni and you think come back and play for the alumni, which is great, and a lot of people want to do it. But most of these guys, all these guys play professional basketball.
Sure.
So, in the summertime, that's really your off season. You're overseas, you're gone for 8 or 9 months out of the year. You have to commit for almost a whole month out of your summer, and not everybody. That's been on the team is not obviously staying in West Virginia. So,
sure.
They have to pack up and leave their family and friends for a month, and, time's valuable in the summer. So, it takes a little bit of convincing, and, most of the guys that most of the guys that are on the roster that have been on the roster, they're happy to do it. But, you got to do a little bit of convincing too.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of logistics to work out there. We're talking with Chase Harler here, the Moundsville native and Wheeling Central legend in WVU. Major contributor over his great career down there as a Mountaineer. Coach has a question for you.
And also he is a Wheeling Central graduate, 2016. He played on a state championship. In 2014, he was the Gatorade Player of the Year in 2015 and 16 here at Wheeling Central. And I believe, is the all-time leading scorer at Wheeling Central. Is that correct, Chase?
Yeah, I think it's between me or Brian Campbell.
Yeah. Well, I'm
sure he pushed you hard.
Before we go on, I got a very serious question from him. He wants to know, and he wants the listeners in the Valley to know, who was the all-time best charge taker in Wheeling Central history basketball?
Yeah, it definitely was. It was either Brian Campbell or one of my other teammates, Thomas Stanley, was a hell of a
charge taker. Well, super.
Yeah, but I'd probably give it to Brian. I mean, you guys obviously know Brian. He's a little dramatic at times, so he can really sell and flop pretty well. And when he hits the floor, he's going to make some absurd noise that the referee's going to have to call something. So, yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good at that.
Chase, real quick, I'm going to stay on Super real quick. What was his average stat line a game? What do you think if you had to guess what it was?
Yeah. So probably, you could get a six to 7 points a game, and a couple rebounds. But we're making fun of Brian about it. But to be completely honest, he was me and him played well together because Brian knew basketball wasn't his main sport, so he did a hell of a job of getting me open and getting me the ball when I was open, and probably getting me the ball when I wasn't open. So. Brian was a really good teammate, but yeah, probably averaged 5 or 6 points. A lot of high fives, a lot of encouraging words, a lot of just being a good guy on the court.
Well, I hope you gave him a lot of credit, like in all the post-game interviews that you've done and all the accolades you've achieved. That you can't do it by yourself, and without a guy like Soup, but guys just forget about guys like Soup. So I'm sure that you've recognized him quite a few times on radio interviews and TV interviews.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to the TBT because I still have some questions about how the whole tournament goes. So the regional will be here in Wheeling, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. So that once again encompasses. Exhibition games and then your regular. What is it? A round robin? I think you said you got to win 3 games. Is that what it is?
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not a round robin. It's single elimination. It's honestly set up just like the Division II March Madness, the NCAA tournament, where the host team, hosts. I mean, they're the regional hosts, so all the games are played in that region.
Okay.
And then the winner of the region, they go to a centralized. Everyone goes to the same location. Last year it was in Dayton, so West Virginia won Charleston. They went to Dayton and they lost that first game, which would be the Elite Eight.
Do you happen to know where the once the regionals are done, where the next round of games will be played?
100% sure. That might be out. I just don't really know. Like I said, last year it was in Dayton.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, the TBT does a few unique things in their games, and the ending of the game is unique. Tell the folks about that.
Yeah, it's called the Elam ending. I think it's pretty cool, especially for like a summer tournament to kind of spice things up a little bit. I'm going to botch the number though. I believe it's +7 of the winning team. So under the 4-minute mark in the fourth quarter, I believe, the first dead ball. So what happens a lot is if the team's up, say 5 or 6 points, they'll foul immediately under that 4-minute mark because that sets the Elam ending. So just for example, let's just say the score is 75-75. The shot clock still happens. The game clock is turned off. And it's just the first to score 82 points. Get to that 82nd point.
Oh, okay. I do remember. Do guys like that ending, Chase?
I think I enjoy it. I think they've done it from the beginning, so it's not really like you can say one's better than the other just for the TBT. Obviously, in regular basketball, it doesn't happen. But yeah, I think it's cool. I think guys like it. Like I said, it's something different in the summer. You're so used to just playing. It is normal basketball, but normal basketball rules, and to kind of just mix it up in the summertime, I think guys enjoy it.
Oh, okay. Who chooses a roster, Chase? What is that? Is that a group of people? Is it just one guy? Who chooses the final roster?
Yeah, it's a collective, a group. I don't have a say in the roster. Like I said, I'm more so. Helping out with the logistics side of things, setting up, like I said before, camps, exhibition games along those lines. But James Long is the coach, former WVU player. He was a senior when I was a freshman. He obviously has a say since he's the coach. I believe the assistant coach will be Dave Tallman from Morgantown High School that just won a state championship.
Mm-hmm.
He's helped out the last couple of years. And then the founder and starter of all the alumni stuff. Because before the TBT, West Virginia used to just do alumni games at Fairmont, and that was just getting guys back in the summertime, exhibition game, have fun, sign some autographs, and that was it. And then as they started doing that more and more, the interest of the TBT grew. But that all started with John Flowers, who was a part of that Final Four team. So those guys, those 3 or 4 guys usually, kind of set the roster.
Okay, all right. And then what, for the people out here listening and the people that are really going to be interested, do you have any idea what other teams we may see, have a chance to see here in our region?
I mean, for sure, I would have to say the Marshall alumni. I'm almost positive they're going to have another team in it. I'm not 100% sure because there might be some other East Coast regions, like Ohio State usually has a team in it, but they're usually in that Ohio region. I'm not 100% sure. I just know from what I've seen on social media, there's a lot more alumni teams than each year the alumni teams grow. So the criteria to be considered an alumni team, I believe you have to have at least 6 or 7 alumni on the roster.
Okay.
Because in the past, West Virginia hasn't always had just WVU players, but you have to meet a certain minimum of alumni players to be considered in an alumni team.
Hey, Chase, with the way that this transfer portal is now, the alumni meaning that they actually finish their eligibility with the school, not so much for the Mountaineers, but all these other schools. It's crazy now, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is wild. That's actually a good point. I don't know if they've actually thought about that or how that works. If you attended the school for a year and maybe left or something, I don't know. But the transfer portal is pretty wild.
We'll have to see on that. We'll have you on again when you get closer to the tournament here in Wheeling. We appreciate you joining us. One last thing before I let you go. Back on the transfer portal, what do you see ahead for Mountaineer hoops? Are you hopeful that they're going to have a pretty good recruiting class coming in for next year, and you think they'll be raiding the transfer portal to try to get some guys, some impact players?
Yeah, they're bringing back a decent amount of players. Obviously, they lost Keedy, Eric, Emmett, and a couple guys in the transfer portal. But, the main guys, Joe Toussaint that came off the bench, Seth Wilson's coming back, Trey Mitchell's coming back, and as far as what I've seen on social media, they've targeted some high level transfer guys.
Right.
And I think that's just the trend, obviously. Like, if you're not a 5-star, 4-star high school guy, it's gonna be hard for you to get a Power 5 conference. Power 5 offer and come play as a freshman, where you can go get a 21-year-old, a 20-year-old that has experience that can play. So.
Definitely.
I think WVU's done a really good job of raising NIL money for football and basketball. I'm affiliated with that Country Roads Trust. I try to do my part and reach out to businesses and companies to try to bring in some money for the athletes. But that's only a 1-year-old business, and we brought in some high level guys already with the ability to obviously provide NIL opportunities. So I think as much as that's going to continue to grow. That's just the name of the game. You can hate it, you can dislike it, you can say it is what you can say one thing or another, but if you don't hop on the trend, you're going to get left behind.
Yes.
I think WVU is starting to morph into that. You got to play the game. You got to play the game.
Absolutely, very well said by you there. That's the sign of the times. We have no choice. You got to just conform or you get left behind. So we'll see how that goes. Chase, thank you so much for joining us here on the Pirates Podcast on the Watchdog. Best of luck to you and your team in Hungary for the rest of the season, and we'll see you back here stateside here shortly.
Keep wearing that Pine Room Podcast shirt.
Yes, sir.
All right,
sir.
Chase.
Appreciate it,
thanks,
Chase.
buddy.
Chase.
Thank you.
All right, that was Chase Harler, Moundsville local, Wheeling Central legend, Mountaineer star recruiter, an NIL guy. He does it all right now. So, in Hungarian basketball professional. So
I always forget he's from Moundsville.
Yeah. Well, I'll never forget that again.
Yeah.
Even though I read that, and I'm like, geez, yeah, Wheeling Central, Moundsville.
And exciting stuff. And as Matt said, as it gets closer and once dates have been finalized, and we can let you know where to buy tickets and how to watch it and all the other specifics, we'll get Chase back on, and he can give us an update on the roster and maybe the teams that will be coming in. But I believe, Matt, you might know this a little more, Jarrett. Some or all the games are on ESPN.
Yeah, a bunch of they're almost all on an ESPN affiliate or
so. Somewhere you're going to be able to.
As they get like the more marquee teams, like that Mountaineer team was on almost every game.
And it's $1 million prize for the winning team, correct?
$1 million. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. I was just thinking about this. Has ESPN ever been in Wheeling before? Like what?
Yeah, they did that. The cancer class, the one.
CRC.
Yeah, CRC.
Right.
They did do that. That was a huge one because they had NBA guys.
Oh yeah,
high
some
school
of those guys. I'm trying to remember some. I think
Andrew
Wiggins was
a lot of Kentucky players.
Kentucky, like 30 Kentucky.
Yeah.
Joe, what do we got going on?
No, I just got off the phone with our foreign partner Dan from Slobovia.
Oh, okay.
He's texting me a picture of I couldn't quite get what he was saying, but I know that he sent me something from Slobovia. So yeah, he just called in to give us a little update.
Trying to let Dan know that we are in the process of trying to locate a boat or a canoe and make arrangements to get over to Slobovia, maybe for the mustard.
You used to have a jet ski, Coach.
Yeah, I don't think we could all got on there, but we're trying to get a boat where we could take 3 or 4 guys and maybe get the Watchdog over there too and let him sniff around over on Slobovia Island.
We could just build a raft, maybe.
Well,
pallets.
The mustard
like
and
a
mayonnaise.
Cuban defector coming up to play baseball.
The mustard and mayonnaise festival didn't happen on Slobovia. That was up in West Lib because the corn monster disrupted the festival.
Yeah, the 7-3 corn monster.
Oh,
the lazy. Well, no, he didn't play for UConn.
Lazy mean.
Yeah, he's lazy. He didn't play basketball.
He's mean.
He's lazy and mean.
Well,
I wonder if Slobovia will have a team in the TBT.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. Can cannibals play?
The
cannibals play?
The Slobovian
They probably could use a few cannibals in the low post.
Yeah.
San Diego State could have used a couple of them last night.
Well, that's tell Dan, or if you're listening, Dan, thanks again for calling in. You're a big part of the show now, and we got some big plans for Dan. Really had a lot of conversation about Dan and how important he is to the.
That's no joke. We literally talked for about 15, 20 minutes about Slobovia and some things we got playing.
Some things for cooking for Dan. So keep up the great work, Dan. We love hearing from you. I'm surprised we haven't heard from Roy C. yet. I'm hoping to hear from him, get an update on Junebug and what's
the weather's nice. He could be doing some work around a trailer.
Yeah, that's true too.
He's probably busy.
Probably
somebody's roof might have blown off with that wind last week.
Probably weed whacking or something.
Right,
I'm sure
getting ready,
polishing the cinder blocks.
Yeah, he's been really busy. So, well, great. That was a great interview with Chase. Appreciate him calling in, and hopefully the people out there listening realize how important Chase is. As we said, Michael Grove, we're really proud of what he's doing and trying to promote the High Valley and getting a TBT. That's going to be really cool. That's going to.
Yeah,
I think
people will get excited about that because you're going to have a time of the year when there's not anything going on
right.
except baseball, NASCAR, golf, and a lot of people aren't into that stuff, and they want basketball and they want football, and that's. Kind of the perfect time to have that tournament. As he said, a lot of these guys are taking their vacations at that time of year.
Yeah,
but,
and hopefully the Valley supports it. Hopefully
I'm sure he'll leverage some of his old teammates into playing. I think that's good. I think there's a sense of pride there. And West Virginia obviously has a lot of pride with their university and all the guys that went there. So I expect a good roster from them. I wish they would be in the same as Ohio State.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
That would generate
sell the West
interest.
Bank Arena out right there.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll probably be some pretty good crowds. I would think at West Banco. I would imagine.
I think so.
Especially if they play a Marshall team, that'd be pretty neat.
Especially if they sell beer down there.
We might have the Pine Room podcast against the Sports Huddle with Doc Georges.
You might be announcing
showdown,
Coach. Who knows?
Showdown, Ohio State and West Virginia. So
that would be really fun. I think a lot of people would get behind that.
Yeah, that'd be.
You can bet on it too. So remember that. That's also an element.
That's important.
That we always like to see. Speaking of betting, Coach, you had a rough day in the MLBs yesterday, betting that Grand Salami under. 13-1-1 to the over yesterday.
Well, I knew when it started out 10-0 the very first game, and then 13, and then the Pirates and the Red Sox had 7 in the first inning. I knew I was in big trouble, but ended up not bad on the day, and we got Masters coming up, which we're going to dive into maybe later in the show. That's going to be really cool with the live guys and our guys going against each other. Not necessarily going against each other, but
Going to be fun. We're going to talk a ton about the Masters in the last block. We got a bunch of stuff before that. Time Machine, 2 Lives and a Florida Guy. We got news from around the world and local and Pine Room and space as well. So we're going to take a break here on the Pine Room Podcast. Thanks again to Chase Harler for joining us. We will be back to talk about Actually, no, we're not talking about anything. We're going into Time Machine. Right after the break, we'll be back on the Pine Room Podcast
wound up
here on the Watchdog. We'll be right back.
Baby, I can die tonight. Dancing till I fall. Everybody tells me, son, we don't move around the sun. Well, I'll show them all. Watch me move. 'Cause they look like I'm
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600, WKKX Wheeling.
I'm Dave Packer. The NYPD on high alert outside of the New York City courthouse, where soon former President Trump will be arrested and arraigned. ABC's Derek Dennis is there, and so are protesters.
Here outside the criminal courts building in Lower Manhattan, there are dueling protests going on here. On one side of this park, across the street from the courthouse, pro-Trump supporters with banners saying "Make America Great Again," older banners saying "Trump 2020," clearly in support of the former president as he faces his arraignment this afternoon. On the other side of the park, there are anti-Trump protesters chanting "Lock him up," amid the crush of reporters who are all around. Hundreds of cameras set up waiting for any detail on Trump's arraignment that is expected this afternoon. Derek Dennis, ABC News, Lower Manhattan.
And Trump soon to make the 4-mile trip from Trump Tower to the courthouse. ABC's Aaron Katursky.
We're not going to see very much of him. He's going to enter through a side door under heavy guard, ride a special elevator up to the 15th floor that will deposit him just steps from the courthouse where he's going to appear before the judge. And that judge declined to allow television cameras inside the room. A few still photographers will be allowed to take some pictures.
And by that time, the exact charges against the former president are expected to be unsealed. Sources telling ABC News there are about 24 felony counts. And history is also being made in Europe, where Finland officially became the 31st member of NATO. Finnish President Sauli Niinisto.
I'm sure that Finns feel themselves more secured, more feeling that we are living in a stable Europe, a stable world, and that is most important for us.
Tennessee Republican lawmakers moving to expel 3 Democratic members of the state's House of Representatives who led anti-gun protests or chants from the House floor. You're listening to ABC News.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
I'm Kate Burdett on the Ohio News Network. In Northwest Ohio, police in Bowling Green are now investigating a woman's death as a homicide. Amanda Fay with ONN's Toledo affiliate WTOL-TV reports.
Police found 23-year-old Alicia Rosa unresponsive in a home on North Main Street near the downtown area. We spoke to her mother. She tells us her daughter was pregnant when she died. There is a GoFundMe to help with funeral costs. A person of interest in this potential homicide case faced a judge on unrelated charges. Jimmy David Cole has not been charged with anything in relation to this death. Police arrested him on parole violations. I'm Amanda Fay.
And Ohio's U.S. Senators Sherrod Brown and J.D. Vance, along with Pennsylvania's 2 senators, have sent a letter to the National Institutes of Health asking the agency to begin gathering resources and conducting research into the short and long-term health effects of the train derailment in East Palestine. Bennett Haberly with ONN affiliate WBNS TV in Columbus has more.
The residents we spoke to living in East Palestine have complained about headaches, burning lips, trouble breathing. Government officials continue to point to tests that show both the air and the municipal water are safe. But just last week, the CDC said several of its employees conducting health surveys in East Palestine fell ill in early March, experiencing many of the same symptoms that have been described by residents there. I'm Bennett Haberly.
I'm Kate Burdett on the Ohio News Network.
More live and local programming than anyone else in the Ohio Valley. The Watchdog returns in moments.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today. Check out Toyota's wide range of all-wheel and four-wheel drive vehicles, like a sporty Camry or a stylish Corolla, both with great MPGs. Or come in and test drive a new RAV4, Highlander, or Corolla Cross, each with plenty of cargo room, so you can be ready for any adventure. Visit buyatoyota.com, the official website for deals. Hurry, offers end April 4th. Toyota, let's go places.
When deciding where to dine in the Ohio Valley, think first of the Highlands. With a full array of fast food choices for everyone in the family. Or drop in at the Olive Garden, Cheddar's, Bubba's Burgers, Bob Evans, Fusion, or Panera Bread. Whatever your family's in the mood for, you can find it just off I-70 at the top of the hill. The Highlands. Dining, shopping, entertainment, and lodging.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, a daytime high of 75. Mostly cloudy overnight with a low near 63. You'll see some clouds and limited sunshine for your Wednesday, but a very mild day with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
All right, welcome back into the PRP on the Watchdog. Get well wishes to our boy Darnell Foster. He sounded a little under the weather there as he was actually giving you the weather, under the weather, while he was prognosticating the forecast for the week. So
hope he's all right.
Best wishes to Darnell. He's toughing it out, though. I like it.
Good guy.
Darnell's
a good guy.
I love it. All right, coming up here on the Pirate Podcast, we got the Time Machine. Jubb's looking for the keys right now. Two Lives in the Florida Guy, World and Local News, PRP in Space, Masters Talk, all still ahead today. It's going to be an exciting rest of the show. We appreciate you joining us. And we are actually joined by one of our regular callers. Mr. Roy C. Mercer from Parkersburg joins the show. Roy C., how's everything today?
Well, boys, I've been kind of busy around the court. You know, got a lot of chores around the court to do there. But I've been watching this NYPD show here with this Trump guy. And I'll tell you what, that looks like an episode of NYPD or Blue Bloods. I've watched that a lot, me and Jutebug. We like them police shows. But I'm telling you, I just want to tell you boys how upset Jutebug is.
Oh, no.
Over Donald Trump or Bryce Butler?
Well, it's Bryce Butler. She is so upset because he didn't win that game. And he's upset, made her upset. So, I mean, she's ready to call off work one day.
Oh, no.
You can't do that.
No.
You know, how we going to pay the bills here around here, this trailer? You know what I mean? It costs money to operate this thing, you know. And I'll tell you what else, too. I was listening a little bit there. You guys was talking, that Dan fella that's on that island. Judd down here has got him a houseboat. Probably 6 of you could ride on it there. If you wanted to borrow it, I could talk to Judd. He owes me a lot of favors down here. He's got it right up here in the court. He parks it in the court there. He covers it up with a blanket and everything. But if you boys want to go on, use it and go on that island, get some mushrooms or whatever you're doing there, it'd be great.
That sounds great. That's very kind of you, Roy, to offer. What was the fellow's name that has the house?
Judd.
Judd. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Judd Jones there. You know, he's out of Parkersburg, too. A good friend of mine here. He kind of helps me out once in a while in the court there. And So we got a lot of chores going on, boys. I'm telling you right now, there's a lot going on in the trailer court right now, but trying to get it ready, you know.
Well, speaking of the court, Roy Seed, you know, these two back-to-back windstorms on these last two Saturdays, have you had any issues with any of the properties down there? I'm sure that some of these trailers got affected.
Well, there was a lot of them got affected. You know, these roofs on these trailers is not real good, so. You know, we've been up there on the roofs with that, that black patching them roofs and, having to put some of that sheet metal down a little bit. But we're working on it, just helping people out. You know, these people don't have a lot, but they really appreciate you climbing up there and helping them out because they're getting a lot of water inside the camper. You know what I mean? Ooh. And I call them campers, but they're really trailers. You know, they're 30-some foot long. You know, and
double wides.
Well, a lot of people can't afford them double wides. You got to be almost a millionaire to have one of them now.
Boy, that's the truth, Roy.
Yeah, well, they're so darn nice and pretty. You know, I mean, it's like living in a mansion almost.
I bet you and Junebug have a beautiful place down there. You guys you're probably one of the higher ups down there, aren't you?
Well, we are, and we do have a nice place, and Junebug keeps it real clean. You know, you got to watch sometimes that nephew of hers comes from down Cameron.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, you know what I mean? She got to get him in the bathtub and get his clothes washed and everything else before he starts wandering around the trailer a little bit. You know what I mean?
Did he get his teeth? Did he get his teeth fixed, Roy? You were talking about that last time.
Well, no, he didn't get them fixed yet, but there's a guy who's supposed to help him out there, help the family out, and do some free work for him there, and try to help him get a little bit of something there where at least he could, chew on a bone or something. You know what I mean? Right now, that just ain't happening.
Right. Roy, have you had to bust out the lawnmower yet? You done any mowing yet?
No, but what we did do is we've been doing a little weed whacking here and there around the fence line, but the lawnmowers, we're changing the oil out in them, me and Judd, and getting them ready, and helping out just as many people as we can. But, I wanted to tell you boys about something, too. Now, I may have got this confused. You might be able to help me out with this here. You remember that girl's a real good basketball player, that bored-ass girl up there in Wheeling, at the Wheeling Park there?
Right.
She, her dad's got the same first and last name. Well, Jukebug says he's doing a commercial on TV where he said he's fighting for justice. Now, is justice in trouble down there in Charleston?
That's a great question, Roy. I don't know.
I hope he's not hurt.
I don't know either, but he said he's fighting for him, and I said, I'll have to ask the boys. Them boys know lots going on around town, and I said, that'd be a good thing to ask them about, so she's at work. I'm going to let her know when she comes home, but, that you're going to be working on it for her, and also how much you care about how upset she is about Bryce, and she doesn't want Bryce to leave that school up there either. She found out what this transfer thing is, and somebody at work told her down there, big blabbermouth down there, had to tell her that he could be leaving, and she thinks that, he's already got his suitcase packed and left up there, I said, that's not true, that's not. I said, just listen to the boys up there. We love them boys, and they'll tell us anything that's going on up in that area.
Well, we'll look into that, Roy. We'll find out, first of all, we'll find out about Bryce Butler, because we've told him several times, how much Junebug just adores him, and she would love to have his autograph. So he's working on that for us, but maybe maybe Baby Dog bit someone, or maybe got in trouble with one of the coal mines or something.
I don't know. She said that Bordas guy, he said that on his TV that he's fighting for justice, and you think he'd have other cases he'd be working on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the governor. He's a pretty important guy. You know that. Has he ever been? Has a governor ever been down your way, Roy? Have you ever shook hands with the governor and Baby Dog?
Well, I never got to, but I'd really like to because I kind of like the guy. He likes to hunt and fish and everything like that there. He did tell me one time he was giving a speech about that Trump guy told him going to be going to jail today. His son was hunting down in there with him, and they got a flat tire. He made that boy change the flat tire. He said, I'll be sitting here until you get that tire fixed.
Yeah, the governor ain't changing that.
Oh, no. He said, I'm the governor. He said, you're just the son of the president. That's all you are.
Hey, when the governor comes, I've seen the governor coach. He coached at Greenbrier East there, and they got to bring he has security guys with him. They bring his own chair. He doesn't sit on the bench. He has his own special chair.
Is that right?
I think it might be a rocking chair, actually.
I'll be darned. I'd like to see that sometime.
Well, he's a big guy. He's hefty.
Oh, I know he's a big feller. He's real big. You can tell he likes to get into the vittles a lot,
Yes.
Yeah, he don't turn too many of them down. They said he likes going through McDonald's drive-through a lot. Baby Doll's been waiting on him. Jukebug's been waiting on him and Baby Doll to come through that window, so she could jump up there and wait on him, And,
I think she'd rather have Bryce Butler stop by, but
I'm telling you right now, Bryce Butler does not have to pay for anything at McDonald's on 7th Street down there.
Perfect.
So, guys, I'm telling you, I'm going to get back to work. I got some stuff out there we're doing. And if there's anything you need from Roy C. Mercer, you let me know because I'll be getting it for you.
Will you tell Judd that we might be interested in using that houseboat to go to Slobovia?
Well, he said something about, I told him all about that, but you guys was talking, and he said, I told him that the guy over there has got mushrooms, and he said, well, he likes mushrooms, He likes to throw them on the grill, So maybe if you make a deal with him or something there, he'll probably even put the gasoline in it for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, tell Judd we'll be calling him and making these arrangements, hopefully.
Well, he'd be glad to hear from you boys. I'll tell you. So, boys, I love you, and I'm busy, and I know you guys are busy today. I'm going to get off on here and get some of these chores done around the court here, and want to watch a little bit of this to see if that Trump fella goes to jail or not. There.
Well, you send our love to Junebug.
Oh, believe me. She's probably listening, taping your show. You know what I mean? She absolutely loves you boys.
All right, Roy, thanks for checking in. We'll talk to you soon.
You're the best, Roy.
Bye, Roy.
Yep, we love you guys. All righty. Bye-bye.
See you, pal.
All right, that was Mr. Roy C. Mercer out of Parkersburg. Boy, what a rundown, a comprehensive rundown that was.
Tell you what, Roy C's up to date pretty much.
He's a connected fellow,
Yes,
too.
he is. It's always good to hear from Roy C. I can't wait till he brings Junebug up here. Maybe we can get him on a show, get him on a podcast.
That would be unbelievable.
I bet Junebug's a beaut.
No doubt.
I
All right,
bet she's a
Joe,
looker.
did you find the keys?
I think I did. Yeah,
All right,
I
it's
think
time
I did.
to go.
I think we might as well head there now. I wonder if one day we'll get Roy to come with us, but for now, it's time.
3, 2, 1.
Read my lips.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
One small step. You're out to see the wizard.
We shall fight on the beaches.
That, of course, signifying that we are indeed back in time. There's a lot of things that we want to hit on. I have our little our dry erase board here in the time machine that we got to check off a couple of things. But Matt, why don't you punch in the first date? Where are we headed?
Looks like we're starting off April 4th, 1558. Ivan IV, also known as Ivan the Terrible, gives the region of northern Russia to the fur traders. So he wasn't that terrible. He was actually trying to help out his countrymen, give them some nice, beautiful area up there in southern Siberia where they could hunt and trap fur, kind of like in the Rocky movie where he's up there training before he fights Drago.
Yeah,
so Ivan the Terrible, not always terrible.
He wasn't a very good-looking guy.
No, he's a dangerous-looking
Yeah,
fella.
he was a little scruffy-looking. I looked up. He's 5'10".
Yeah.
He was 5'10".
Small in stature.
5'10". His last name, Ivan Vasilievich, I believe.
Well, yeah, I think. Well, last week, unfortunately, when we ran through our death list, he was on there last week. Yeah, he passed away last week, March 28th, all the way back in 1584.
Ooh, he had a good run though.
Yeah. So he wasn't a good-looking fella.
No.
He maybe looked like Roy C's nephew.
He's a little older.
I think
than
he
him.
probably had a better dental plan.
Do you think anybody ever comes up to Roy C's nephew and goes, "Boy, you look like Ivan the Terrible"?
I hope not.
I don't think he's ever
sure
heard
hope
that.
not.
No, not down around the trailer court. No. All right, where are we going next?
Jared, go.
We are heading about 200 years in the future, 1789. The first U.S. Congress begins regular sessions in New York during the presidency of George Washington. So all the way back in old George's time with his wooden teeth.
Pretty important stuff there. First U.S. Congress. Think where we'd be without that. Obviously, today's Congress is a sham. But back in those days, those guys were actually had the best interest of the people in mind, and we're trying to build a very young nation.
You think he chopped that cherry tree down?
I don't know. I bet that might be as big a news as finding out if Governor Justice is being represented by Bordas and Bordas. The cherry tree thing is a mystery. I don't know. They ought to have that on History's Mysteries. I don't know. He had wooden teeth, though. I don't know. I don't think that was.
Is
real
that not?
either.
That's not true.
That's
right?
not true. That's
well,
been
it says the cherry tree myth is the most longest enduring legend about George Washington. The original story, when Washington was only 6 years old, he received a hatchet as a gift and damaged his father's cherry tree. When his father discovered what he had done, he became angry and confronted him.
That's a great. That's a great gift.
If you haven't seen this, go look it up online. There's just a picture of little George looking all dejected because his father's yelling at him.
That was going to be a vast cherry crop that year.
Yeah.
I heard.
Yeah.
Cost his dad some money. All right, Coach, where are we going next?
Yeah, let's see. Where are we headed now? We're going to 1832, starting to get closer to our time. Charles Darwin, famous biologist, geologist, touches down in Rio de Janeiro aboard the HMS Beagle. Wow.
Chucky Darwin, he made a lot of discoveries about evolution and about those Galapagos, about the tortoises and the birds with the different beaks. Really cool stuff. If you're into science and that kind of thing, go look up.
Can you imagine having his notes, like the comprehensive notebooks and stuff that he had at all the areas that he went to and the people that he experienced and stuff that is probably borderline, insane to go there, how dangerous it could be.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Coming across tribesmen.
Can we go to the Galapagos? Like,
yeah, why not?
Go?
Let's start a pine
They
road
have
trip
they
to
have
the
big
Galapagos.
tortoises there, don't they? They have big old tortoises.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, you can go to the Galapagos Islands. There's travel there. You can go hang out with the seals on the beach. You can go to the Isla Baltra, Isla Santa Cruz, Isla Isabella, and Isla San Cristobal.
Beautiful archipelago.
Yeah.
What do you got there?
Showed a picture of Charles
Darwin.
Oh, Darwin, yeah. If you believe
that what he looked
that
like?
man evolved from ape, yeah, that has been discussed. So plenty of things to talk about here on the Pioneer Podcast as we are in the time machine. Job,
I'm going to punch in a date here. We're going to head about 9 years later. We're going to go to 1841. Vice President John Tyler becomes the 10th President of the United States after the death of William Henry Harrison.
Yeah.
Now, how did
Harrison had pneumonia, I think.
So Billy got pneumonia.
Yeah. Hopefully, he sounded similar to Darnell when he was given the news, and it didn't turn out well for old Tippecanoe, they called him, William Henry Harrison. Is that what it was, pneumonia?
Yeah. Do you think out of all the presidents, I know John Tyler probably did more than I can think about on top of my head, but who do you think is the most unrecognized president in history?
Warren G. Harding, McKinley, he got shot, so people know about him.
Wow.
Woodrow Wilson, he's pretty. He was.
What about Gerald Ford?
Gerald Ford was a more modern era, so you got to look. Yeah, he.
The men consistently making the list of the history's most forgettable presidents: Millard Fillmore, Warren G. Harding, and Martin Van Buren.
Well, yeah, those guys, yeah.
I think
and
about
Andrew
Marty
Johnson,
every now
everybody
and then.
knows him because he got impeached, but other than that, he was forgettable. Yeah, that's a good question.
Zachary
Good
Taylor.
debate.
I feel like
if you think we didn't name a president that was a forgotten about guy, call us 304-214-1600. Want to get your take? Frio and Stack Auction Service Hotline. Let us know who your favorite president was, or just the president that intrigues you. All right, where are we going next? All right, it's my turn. April 4th, 1866. Russian Tsar, we're back in Russia. Russian Tsar Alexander II narrowly escapes assassination attempt by Dmitry Karazakov in St. Petersburg. So thank goodness he didn't get killed, as his political ally tried to kill him. So that's a dangerous times. Like even in 1866, you had guys that were opposed to each other trying to kill each other. Just because you disagree with politics.
Wonder if is that St. Petersburg, Florida?
It's so funny when I see that.
Certainly not. I didn't think I needed to put that down.
When I always see St. Petersburg, Russia, I just always think St. Pete.
Beautiful.
St. Pete, Florida. Yeah, so I was going to
both of them are nice.
Next time I was down there, I was going to try to find out where he tried to kill him.
Oh. Okay.
But I guess I'm not going to find it down in
that
Florida.
ain't happening unless you want to go to Russia.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to head a little more in the future. April 4th, again, 1937. Byron Nelson wins his first of 5 majors after capturing the Masters at Augusta National.
All right.
We got the Masters this weekend.
Yes.
And then,
very fitting.
Let's fast forward about 40 years here, and we're going to go to Dr. Martin Luther King in 1968. Is assassinated in Memphis, which leads to riots and unrest in over 100 U.S. cities.
Coach, do you recall that?
Yes, I do. That was pretty.
I'm sure it was alarming to the
rough
whole country.
times in our country. That was not good. That was a scary time.
Wait, how old were you?
11, right?
Yeah, I was 11. Yeah, I remember that. That was not good for our country.
Yeah, my
obviously.
mom always said she remembered that day in John F. Kennedy getting assassinated as just very vividly.
John F. Kennedy was very sad.
Terrible times.
Both sad.
Yeah, I mean, just think, Martin Luther King was trying to do a lot of good, and it's a shame how that turned out.
Now today we have Donald Trump getting indicted.
All right, what's our last stop, Job?
We're going to head to 1975. Mr. Bill Gates and Paul Allen found Microsoft, something that probably changed the world.
Sure.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's probably one of the more incredible businesses that exists right now.
Sure
especially with all the stuff. I mean, right now I got 2 Microsoft computers that I'm working off of right now.
I mean, think about it. Where would you be without Microsoft and Apple right now?
It's you think about like all the essential things in life, like the car and the airplane and stuff like that.
It's right there now.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we depend on our devices and our computers and our phones and all that stuff for our business, not just work or not just pleasure, not just friends and family, but work, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go anywhere without your phone or device. Your Microsoft tablet or your Apple whatever. The iPad.
I got my watch on right now. I mean,
it's
nuts the amount of stuff that both of those companies do.
Thank goodness those guys were great innovators.
Well, while we're back here in time, I think it's time. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday. Call in. Or if you want us to give a birthday shout-out to somebody, we'll give a birthday shout-out to whoever. But, Matt, who we got on our list?
All right, we got Craig T. Nelson, the coach. He's 79. Robert Downey Jr. is 57. Natasha Lyonne, 43. The magician David Blaine turns 49. And I think this is Britney Spears' sister, Jamie Lynn Spears. Don't really know her. She turned 32 today.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday to all those people and everyone out there who is having a birthday
and
today.
your guy's cousin, Paul Williams' wife, Kelly Williams.
Oh,
birthday
Kelly!
Happy birthday,
Kelly Williams, happy birthday today. Not sure how old she is, but still looks great.
She's a wonderful lady.
She shares a birthday with Isoroku Yamamoto, World War II general.
She probably doesn't know that.
Tris Speaker, American Baseball Hall of Famer, no longer with us. Buddy Waters.
Oh, Muddy Waters.
Gil Hodges. Maya Angelou. Andrew Tarkovsky. Anthony Perkins. Boy, there are a lot of people born today.
Ledger.
A lot of people
A lot
today.
more people would probably die.
Graham Norton, Robert Downey Jr., like you said.
Yeah.
We got a lot. Happy birthday to everybody listening out
birthday.
there.
Eric
Yes.
Andre today too.
And who,
Eric Andre, that nut.
Who's he?
He said kind of a comedian.
Anybody famous perish today, Chubb?
Yeah. I was just going to get to that. We, unfortunately, as we always have, people that are in our lives that are celebrating a birthday, I think that it is worth our time to at least acknowledge those that are no longer with us. So I'm going to crank up our little funeral dirge here.
Oh, I thought you'd play taps.
And we are going to go through a list of some of the folks that are no longer with us and famous in history. We say goodbye to John Napier, died in 1617. We say goodbye to William Henry Harrison in 1841. We say goodbye to Ludwig Leichhardt, 1848. We say goodbye to Carl Benz, German inventor of the Mercedes-Benz, 1929. Andre Michelin, French industrialist. We say goodbye to Martin Luther King, Adam Clayton Powell Jr., 1972 American politician. Gloria Swanson, American actress. We say goodbye to Alec Bedzer, English cricket medium-pace bowler. And that pretty much, I mean, there's a million on here, but as far as high profile, that's pretty much all we got.
I'm glad you got the cricket.
Unless anybody knows Oleg Antonov, the Soviet airplane engineer.
Heard of him, but don't know him.
Yeah, and then real quick, I figure it's important because if today is your special day, I know that it's definitely somebody's special day out there. I know that probably somebody's doing it right now, but if you are getting married today, for whatever reason, on what's today, the 4th
April 4th
of April, we do want to wish you happy wedding day. Is that what you say? Happy wedding day?
Happy wedding day on a Tuesday on April 4th.
I just say good luck.
Frederick, good luck. Frederick Henry marries Amalia Countess von Solms Braunfels. George Mason weds Anne Eilbeck. Sarah Bernhardt marries diplomat Aristide Damala in London. Sam Kinison got married today to Malika.
I guarantee he's not married.
Sorry at the Candlelight Chapel in Las Vegas.
He might be dead.
Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Oh, wow.
Shout out anniversary.
Congratulations.
That's a beautiful one.
And then Jeff Bezos got married today.
Divorced?
Actually, no. Sorry. He's divorced today.
Yeah, there you go.
He
Congrats,
got divorced
Jeff.
today.
It's not enough to be the richest man in the world.
Yeah.
Travis Barker with Kourtney Kardashian got married in 2022. So congratulations to everyone who got married.
Well, thank you for that, John.
That was wonderful.
That was beautiful.
All right. I think it's time for a break. All right. Well, we'll be back on the Pirating Podcast. Hope you enjoyed the ride through time. That was very, very entertaining. We're going to be back. Talk to Liza and a Florida guy next in some loony local news and some world news. Tons of things going on in the world. We'll be back right after this on the Pirating Podcast on the Watchdog.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. State Attorney General Patrick Morrissey ready to give higher office a shot.
Today, I am stepping forward to announce that I'm running for the Republican nomination for governor in West Virginia.
That's Morrissey from last hour on Metro News Talk Line. He also addressed a crowd of supporters at a Jefferson County hotel to launch his gubernatorial bid. Morrissey has served 3 terms as the state's Attorney General and believes he has a record that is exemplary for what West Virginia needs in the governor's position.
I'm the only proven conservative in this race with a deep record of fighting and winning against the political elite, successfully defending our West Virginia values, and accomplishing some of the big things West Virginians care about.
He joins an already crowded field for that Republican nomination for governor that includes Secretary of State Mac Warner, State Auditor J.B. McCuskey, businessman Chris Miller, who's the son of Congresswoman Carol Miller, and Delegate Moore Capito, son of Senator Shelley Moore Capito. Elsewhere, a sad day in Upshur County as news breaks this morning of the death of longtime Sheriff Virgil Miller. Miller died in the hospital last night.
Now, I was with him yesterday, so I knew he'd had some real health issues that we had to get figured out, but didn't expect this.
That is his Chief Deputy Mike Coppin in Upshur County. Miller was in his 5th term as Upshur County Sheriff and was the longest-serving active sheriff in West Virginia. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. An announcement this morning of the largest clean ammonia manufacturing facility in the country will be built in Mingo County. Adams Fork Energy has announced plans for that multi-billion-dollar production facility in Mingo County to begin in 2024. A press release announcing the plan indicates that plans for a production capacity are just over 2.1 million metric tons with optional additional capacity. The project's expected to support 2,000 construction jobs. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
How much could a cyber attack cost your business? The costs stemming from a cyber attack can vary tremendously, but are extremely significant. Recent studies have shown that the average cost of a data breach to small business can range from $120,000 to $1.2 million. In addition to financial loss, companies also suffer downtime, lost opportunities, and data recovery expenses that can all quickly add up. Could your organization survive a cyber incident? If you are unsure if you are doing enough to protect your data, reputation, and dollars from cyber criminals, contact the team at Omni Strategic Technologies today. Omni has the right tools and support to help keep your business protected. Call 304-242-7600 and schedule your free consultation today, or visit omniperforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only cybersecurity and advisory firm that the Watchdog trusts.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gellner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at GellnerLaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
Get 11% off your entire roofing project at Menards. Owens Corning architectural shingles have a limited lifetime warranty and can withstand winds up to 130 miles per hour. Choose from more than 60 styles available now in store or on Menards.com. Save on your entire roofing project and get 11% off all Owens Corning shingles. Good through April 9th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards. Get tickets for Nailers Fan Appreciation Night, Saturday, April 8th. Celebrating the best fans in the ECHL with thousands of dollars worth of random giveaways like gift cards and prizes. Plus, enjoy a jersey off the back auction. Join Nailers Army for the biggest fan party of the year. Fan Appreciation Night, Saturday, April 8th. Puck drop 710. Call 304-234-GO or go to WhalingNailers.com.
I'm Coach Derek Army, and I want to thank you, the fans. Let's celebrate.
Jim Frio Promotions presents Spring Beatings 2023. Up to 13 professional and amateur boxing matches with an American Boxing Federation Cruiserweight Championship fight. Saturday, April 22nd. Doors open at 5:30, first bell at 6:30. Come enjoy the excitement. Sponsored by FEX Recycling of Mingo Junction, Ohio, WVU Sports Medicine, Tito's Sloppy Dogs, Island Pawn and Gun, Karen Bowers Distribution, and the Watchdog, WKKX WVLY.
Coming up on Metro News Hotline.
On the Tuesday edition of the show, we'll take a look back at the national championship basketball game for college hoops. Dave Bryant from Steeler Depot will be here at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. Wick Terrell will be talking Reds baseball with us at 4:33, plus your calls, texts, tweets, in or out, and our question of the day.
Metro News Hotline with Dave Weekly. Weekday afternoons from 3 till 6 at WVMetroNews.com and on this Metro News station.
All right, welcome back into the PRP on the Watchdog. It's about that time for Two Lies and a Florida Guy, but still to come, we got the world and local news we're going to hit on, PRP in space, and then the final half an hour we're going to talk about the Masters. Feel free to give us a call. I want to talk about any of those things. 304-214-1600, Frio and Stack Auction Service Hotline. Jub, are we ready for Two Lies and a Florida Guy? Oh, okay, Jub's on the phone, so anyway.
Just had a caller... actually, a text just said how impressed he was with Roy C. Mercer.
Oh, yeah.
He said he's going to be tuning in more often now, knowing that Roy C. is a regular caller. He said he was very, very impressed with the way he spoke and his knowledge. And
Yeah, he is the man.
yeah, so he just texted me and said thank you for bringing Roy as part of the Ohio Valley now. So it's exciting to have guests like Roy C. and Dan.
Sure is.
Well,
Brings our show
speak
up.
of the devil, he's here with us right now.
What?
Oh, the man from Slobovia. Dan, how you doing?
1 second, please. Da-da-da-da. This is the Royal Ambassador, Dan the Man. Hold on 1 second. Oh, hello. That was my proxy, in case a terrorist tries to take me out.
Smart
I always
move.
have someone in front, yes. I'll take those gentlemen up on their gracious bringing over the ship. But remember, we don't have vitamin C on my island, so you have to watch out for scurvy and rickets.
Oh, boy.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Oh,
Yes,
for that.
yes,
You better bring
yes.
a bag of oranges.
And bring a bottle of cow trait, because we don't have cows on our island. It's full of bulls. Have you ever tried to milk a bull?
No, thank
never.
goodness.
You don't know. But, we have mushrooms. We have peyote also. I don't know if you know what peyote is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a heck of a hallucinogenic air.
Well, yes, that's why we wear tie-dye.
Perfect.
And everybody wears Birkenstocks. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that the national dress? Is Birkenstocks?
Yes, and we all wear turbans, but we fill them with candy, and then when our enemies come, they hit us in the head with baseball bats, and it's like a pinata.
Oh,
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful counterterrorism effort there.
By the way, Dan, who are your enemies?
Oh, those, the crick monsters. You know them guys, the salamander gang? Oh, my God.
I've heard of them. They're a rough
the
bunch.
Yeah, the black snakes, they come around every once in a while, and they try to get us, but the vipers are the scary ones. But you know what? Those redbirds fly over, and sometimes they peck at us really hard.
Pecking out your
Yeah.
horses, too.
Well, yes, they got horses. Yeah, we got Mustangs and thoroughbreds, and we got ponies. And you know what? When they get real big, they get to that. What's that big baseball thing called? It's called. What are you with a red and yellow hat? The gold and blue hats. What's it called? Legion.
Oh, Legion.
The
there you go.
Legion of
Post
Doom.
one.
Oh, the Legion of Doom.
Of Doom, yes. That gang that hangs up there by Bethany that plays baseball.
Well, what about the cannibals on the East Coast or on the eastern
Well, you know
side?
what? We found out their leaders are Kardashians, and they're actually pretty nice.
Who so knew? You're allies with the cannibals now.
If you can be friends with the Kardashians, you won't end up like Bruce Jenner. No, you won't. No, you got to make friends with the Kardashians. You can't let them drive you crazy.
Well, there is a lot that goes on your island. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, hold on. You got to get over here quick because the Harlem Globetrotters just come over from Gilligan's Island and they're playing basketball.
This is amazing. You ought to have your own reality
This is
show,
incredible.
Oh, Lord, Devin.
Dan, have you seen any sign of the corn monster in the past couple of days?
You know the corn monster. We had a podiatrist come over, and he had a legend of the corn monster. He had some of his corn tusks from his toes. His toenails grow as long as corn tusks.
Oh my!
He could probably climb up a tree.
Well, we don't have very many trees. We have lots of mushrooms, mushrooms and peyote.
See, that excited Roy C. and Judd, the mushrooms. I heard them getting pretty excited.
Green. They got this green stuff. It's called cannabis. And we call it mocha loca.
Mocha loca. Man,
yeah, well,
man.
we feed all our cattle on it. And you know what? We got dancing bears like the Grateful Dead and everything. You see all kinds of stuff. Penguins. There's penguins. Yeah, some people call it hallucinogenics, but we call it Slobovia.
Wonderful.
Come to Slobovia. You know what? We're going to get our own airline.
Oh, really?
Slobovian Air. All right.
Yeah, Slobovian Air. And we're not going to give people pretzels. We're going to give them candy corn.
Love it.
Well, you probably could land a plane right on the river, like they do up in Alaska. They land on those lakes.
Well, you have a lovely parking lot there where you broadcast from. I think we could land it right there.
Perfect. We'll get a helipad put in for you.
Helipad, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we're going to have live professional wrestling next month.
Wonderful.
We'll be
well,
there.
let us know, Dan.
We will
be
be
over.
there.
Well, yeah, we have a Roy Orbison concert coming up.
Jeez, you have more going on than West Banco Arena.
Well, I know he's alive because him and Elvis were hanging out, and I would recognize Jimmy Hoffa anywhere. Have a good day.
Thanks, Dan. That was Dan from Slobovia. Joe, what do we got now?
It's unbelievable. Dan.
Someone else wanted to talk about Dan.
Hello, caller. Welcome to Power Room Podcast on the Watchdog. Who are we talking to?
Good afternoon. This is Father Guido Sarducci from the...
Uh-oh. He's breaking up.
Dan just attacked him.
Right, he must have got eaten by a cannibal.
That's Dan's rival.
Could you hear me better now?
No, he got you.
It's the Father Guido Sarducci from the Vatican.
Oh, the Vatican.
Yeah, this is a bigger week for us. It's like our Super Bowl, you know?
Sure is. How'd Palm Sunday go?
It went good. I tell you, I blessed them more palms than the Carter's got pills.
All right, so what's on the calendar for the Easter festivities? How many masses will you say this week in Vatican City?
Oh, gee, I get time and a half this week, double time on the Sunday.
Well, the Pope's, is he still sick, or is he able to say Mass this weekend?
He's going to give it the school try.
Oh, okay.
Guido, you wanted to say something about Dan?
We're going to need to pray for him.
Okay.
He seemed like he had knocked a rabbit right, you know?
All right, so what do you suggest? 5 Hail Marys, 5 Our Fathers, we should say, after we get off the radio?
Oh, I think a whole rosary.
Oh, whole rosary. Okay. I'll have to carve time out for that. Yeah.
After the show, you might do a rosary. But remember, this is the bigger week for us. We got a lot going on. But, after the day after Easter, I'm going to Disney.
Oh, enjoy that. And peace be with you, Father. Thank you for checking in.
It's like the Super Bowl, After the Super Bowl, they go to Disney. That's where I go.
Yes.
I go to check out the...
Well, Dan said it's like they have Disneyland on Slobovia, so maybe that's where you're going to go.
No, and not go nowhere near that. Not the case.
That might be the devil's playground, I think you're kind of alluding to.
I don't know. That's just not the right, But we will pray for him. But you guys say a rosary for him. I think you need the rosary hour on your show.
I think that's
maybe
I think that's a great idea. But thank you for the call, and we will say our prayers.
Guido, make sure you call in more often. You give a lot of good insight.
I may be able to fit into my schedule. It's a tough week for me, but if I can, I will. But remember, I'm going to say one thing. God the bless and Domino the whole week. Then you all got the blessing from the Guido. Amen.
Guido Sarducci.
All right.
Thank you, Guido.
Thank you.
Say your prayers.
My goodness.
Incredible.
All right, Joe.
Well, and then we got we got Steve from St. Clairsville. Steve, can you hear me?
Hello, Steve.
I can hear you, but things have kind of gone off the tracks here today.
Yeah, we totally lost control, Steve. I don't know what's going on. Between Roy C. and Dan and now Guido, I don't know what's going on.
I didn't know they got this station in Vatican City.
Yeah, I know.
We might have to reevaluate our
heck
program.
Of a range they got on this antenna. What's going on, Steve?
Oh, just listen to this broadcast. This is must-listen to radio.
It's getting better and better. And I happened to I talked to Roy C. and I told him about you about you seeing his nephew, and he wasn't real happy with what you said about him.
Between his nephew and him, when I told you they took $20 to Bob's lunch and got $1 pancake stacks, I mean, it was pretty embarrassing that night.
And how about Junebug? She's a looker, I hear.
Again, no comment.
Yeah, you can't say too much there.
Yeah, two things I've picked up on today's show.
Oh boy!
Is it true that Bernie Dolan's moving in with Roy C. Mercer?
We're doing. We got our team investigating
get him on the line
that.
right now.
We got our team investigating that.
Yeah, and I didn't know that in 2015 Brian Soup Campbell led the team in high fives.
Yeah, somehow the paper didn't report that, Steve.
I don't know.
That's an important stat.
I just ran to the library to check out the archives. It's still not in there. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to talk to Seth Stasky at the newspaper to make sure that gets printed in today's sports news.
Yes. Soup needs credit for
all
that.
the irrelevant stuff like All-State and All-American and stuff like that. And a guy like Soup, who works his tail off, he practices those high fives all week.
Does he high-five himself on the road?
Well, he has to stay awake. He drives so much.
Every drive-through he goes through, he high-fives the waitress, every time.
Yeah, every time he's around, it sounds like he's clapping, but he's just high-fiving himself.
Have a great afternoon, guys.
See you, buddy.
Steve.
Bye, Steve.
All right, lots going on there. We might have to get our own investigative team TMZ.
My
TMZ Pine Room.
Bernie Dolan moving in with Roy C.
Huh, wonder what
Writing that
the
down.
reason is there.
I don't know. We better call DK Wright or somebody down.
I see Coach
TV7.
Dolan's sons quite often. I'm going to find out about this.
All right.
He might be getting a trailer down in Roy C's neighborhood.
Down the court.
I know his wife very well, too. I don't know what's going on there.
We'll get back to you on that one, folks. I think it's time for Two Lives in the Florida guy. Geez, these stories
you open up a can of worms there, pal. That's gonna. I hope that didn't hit the papers.
All right, Joe.
Things are just going off the rails today.
Well, now it's going to go off even further.
So, again, warning, not a real police car. You can check in your mirror, but don't pull over. Here we go. 2 lies and a Florida guy.
You better buckle your bootstraps and get to running, because you got the law on your tail, boy. We're as south gets, and it's time for 2 lies and a Florida guy. Yeehaw!
Of course, this rendition of 2 Lies and a Florida Guy is brought to you by our friends over at Frizzy Customs. Whether it's repair, upgrade, or a new project, head over to the tech gurus at Frizzy Customs Computer and Electronics. We've been there. We got a computer. We got things fixed. Derek Frizzy and his crew specialize in computer and technical hardware and can repair anything from your phone to your computer to your gaming system. But if it's cracked screen or any other issues, no problem. You can head over to Frizzy Customs Computer and Electronics at 319 Crescent Street in Bel Air, Ohio on weekdays from 9 to 5, or give them a call at 740-671-8814. For any of your hardware or software needs, visit Frizzy Customs Computer and Electronics. And without further ado, let's get into this rendition of 2 Lies and a Florida Guy. For our first story today, our first news story, Florida woman arrested after drinking marker ink in drives-through putt-putt golf course. In a bizarre incident that left the authorities scratching their heads, a Florida woman from Hillsborough County was arrested for drunk driving after she apparently consumed an entire bottle of marker ink and then proceeded to drive her car through a local putt-putt golf course. Eyewitness reported that the woman, who is yet to be identified, was driving erratically before she crashed her car through the fence surrounding the course. Once inside, she drove the vehicle through the various holes, causing extensive damage to the artificial turf and obstacles. Police arrived on the scene shortly afterwards and found the woman slumped over the steering wheel, reeking of alcohol and with a bright blue stain around her mouth. She was promptly arrested and taken into custody, where she reportedly admitted to drinking the ink, thinking it was a bottle of liquor. Florida man attempts to hide from police in septic tank, nearly drowns. As we had last week, we had a man crawling through the sewage system. Now we have a man hiding in the sewage tank itself. In a bizarre incident that stunned the residents of a small Florida town, a man was found stuck in a septic tank after attempting to hide from the police. According to reports, the man, identified as 34-year-old Jeffrey Bingham, was being pursued by authorities with multiple outstanding warrants when he decided to make a desperate attempt to evade capture. Bingham reportedly climbed onto the roof of a local gas station and then jumped onto the adjoining property, which is the home to an industrial septic tank. He opened the lid and climbed inside, thinking he could hide from the officers. However, things took a nasty turn when he became stuck in the tank and was unable to move or climb out, nearly drowning in 5 feet of sewage waste. As a result, the authorities were eventually able to locate and apprehend him, albeit in a highly unpleasant circumstance. And then finally, one that could possibly be a good friend of ours, Florida racing greyhounds testing positive for cocaine. At least 12 greyhound racing dogs in Florida have tested positive for cocaine, and their trainer has since been arrested. It's at least the second instant this year of a racing greyhound testing positive for cocaine.
Oh, boy.
The dogs raced at Best Bet Orange Park in Northeast Florida near Jacksonville. The state is home to 12 of the 19 dog tracks in the U.S., where 40 states have outlawed the sport. Although reporters say the dogs are treated well, the industry faces intense scrutiny. And now, with a man... Oh, I got my article mixed up. Hold on. Let me find my article. I lost my article. I lost the article. Hang with us. Here we go. In a statement of news outlets, Best Bet Orange Park says it supports the swift action taken by the state in suspending the trainer's license. During March and April, McClellan was an employee of the Steve Saris Kennel. He has since been arrested.
Steve Saris. Yeah, all right, Steve Saris. He does good work over in Wheeling. So, all right.
Huh.
I don't think that goes on at charter kennels, as far as I know.
I hope not.
All right, who's picking first?
Boy, I 2 weeks ago I thought I was back on the right track. I won, and then last week I lost. I'll go first, and I'm going to say I'm gonna say the true story is the number one, the woman drinking the Marker Inc. and driving through putt-putt.
Okay, all right. One for the Marker Inc.
Jarrett?
Oh man, all of these seriously could really happen. I think there. I'm gonna go with the Greyhounds. I think I'm gonna go with the Greyhounds.
Interesting. I was considering the Greyhounds, but I can't because I know that Florida is officially outlawed. That could be an older article. But
that's what I'm
saying. They don't have to worry. The only 2 dog tracks are in West Virginia now. So Steve Saris does run here in Wheeling. So best of luck to him. And Charter Kennels, a proud sponsor of some of the stuff we've done here in the Pioneer Podcast. I'm going with the Marker Inc. lady also. I don't know. Septic tank guy's tempting, but I'm going with your.
That seems
with
too
Coach.
normal.
So,
All right,
Marker Inc. lady.
So going back through the list, we have Coach and Matt on the Marker Inc. And then Jarrett, you are on the Greyhounds.
Yes,
That's
I'm on the
correct?
Greyhounds.
Nobody wanted to go for the septic.
The cocaine
no one's on
dogs.
septic.
All right, well.
I bet you fooled us, though.
It was the Greyhounds.
Yeah. Oh, my
The
goodness.
Greyhounds. That article came from 2017 and was actually, that's a real incident. A guy
That's
had
awesome.
fed his dogs cocaine and was since arrested. But
Wonder if they ran better.
Did he make them eat it or did he make them snort it? And did the dogs snort cocaine?
They
If you know, call us 304-214-1600.
It says the dogs tested positive in March and April for benzo something or other, a metabolite of cocaine, according to documents from the State Department of Business and Professional Regulation.
Was it really Steve Saris Kennel?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. No wonder Champ always bets on him.
Wow, I'm gonna have to ask Steve about that.
Yeah.
I saw him in the cheese melt the other day.
Yeah. It said on GQ 2 years ago. It says people were giving their greyhounds cocaine to make them run faster. More and more greyhound trainers seem to be giving their dogs cocaine in order to win races, but is it as much of a problem as some wanted you to believe?
Wow.
So maybe they're all right on cocaine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good stuff.
Wow, this dog looks.
Maybe they're happy.
He sure looks happy.
Well, anyway,
energetic.
thank you for joining us here on this episode of Two Lies and a Florida Guy. Jarrett takes the win this week. Down goes Matt.
You're about
and Coach.
5-2.
Yeah, what's our
Jarrett's
standing
got a strong
record?
I think I'm 4 and. How many times have we done this now? We gotta keep it.
All right, we'll keep a running tally.
Like a dry erase board back here. I think I'm 4 and 3.
Well,
maybe.
Listen, tune in on Thursday for another edition of Two Lies and a Florida Guy.
All right. Do we have time for news? We can probably hit a couple.
Yeah,
of
you
them,
could hit a couple of them.
and then we can pick it up before we go into outer
Or
space.
if you just want to highlight them, or just
whatever. We'll
Yeah.
start out. Trump indictment. Obviously, that's a very hot topic. President Trump facing more than 30 counts of business-related fraud and is expected to turn himself in today at the Manhattan DA's office around 2:15. So probably about 15 minutes.
Yeah, I just saw the motorcade.
We'll have it on the TV here and keep you updated on that. See how it goes. Trump's expected to plead not guilty to the charges revolving around alleged hush money payments to adult entertainer Stormy Daniels.
Wow.
What a lady she is. President Trump's expected to return to Florida this evening to deliver remarks regarding his case and his upcoming presidential campaign. So probably must-see television tonight if you're bored and you're not watching the Pirates. Maybe we'll tune in to see Donald in action. Could be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the spy balloon update. So, yeah, we talked about this a little while ago on the show, several weeks ago, actually. The Chinese spy balloon that crashed was shot down. Actually, yeah, it didn't crash. It was shot down earlier this year in the United States. Was actually transmitting data in real time. That's kind of scary. Like, it wasn't collecting it and keeping it for them to be. It was actually transmitting it back there. So it did its job. It collected data. Who knows what all it gathered. I think that's a pretty big deal. The 200-foot balloon was first spotted over Alaska and Canada before entering American airspace in early February and was eventually shot down off the coast of South Carolina. What do you guys think?
Yeah, well, what makes me mad about that is the Chinese were saying we were too hasty to blow it down, like as if we were just blowing down a weather balloon. And it's like a kid getting caught after like their parents catch them breaking like a window or something. It's just now they're guilty, and now I don't know what the consequences of that are going to be.
Literally the hand in the cookie jar. You're stealing the cookie, and they caught you.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, it says the intelligence China collected was mostly from electronic signals, which could be picked up from weapon systems or include communications from base personnel rather than images.
And they probably got all of our text messages, too.
Yeah,
and emails.
Well, They might have really valuable intel if they got Champ's texts.
Oh, I'm just glad the balloon. Yeah, I know that'd be real good. I'm glad the balloon wasn't spotted over Slobovia though. Instead
no. Would that have been something?
I mean, Dan probably has like scramblers that are located throughout the entire long range signal blockers.
Well, when he said he was getting an airline, maybe he's just getting like fighter jets to just fly
entire
over the area.
convoy of fighter jets. All right, think it's time for a break, Joe. All right,
you think Father Guido Sarducci might have seen it?
He could have. It could have been spotted over Vatican City on its way over this way. We'll see. We'll have to check in with Father Guido next week. We'll be back here on the Pirate Podcast. We'll finish up with our news stories. Got a interesting story out of Belmont County in the Powhatan area that we're going to talk about, and another train derailment. This one really hits close to home for us. So we will be back on the Pirate Podcast to talk the news, Pine Rim and Space, and the Masters on the way. We'll be right back on the Watchdog.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 W.
Just wheeling and just as loud. They've got signs. The pro-Trump supporters are saying Trump 2024. He was a great president. Make America great again. That's what some of their signs are saying. And then on the other side of the barricades, you're seeing Trump signs that say Trump indicted. Trump lies all the time. No one is above the law.
ABC's Derek Dennis outside of the Criminal Courts building in Lower Manhattan. History in Europe as Finland officially joins NATO. Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg welcoming Finland at a flag-raising ceremony at NATO headquarters in Brussels.
31 flags flying together as a symbol of our unity and our solidarity.
Finland got the green light to join once Turkey, the last holdout, approved its membership, but Russia has been against NATO's expansion, promising retaliation, and Russia blaming the pro-Ukrainian opposition for the murder of a pro-war military blogger this week in St. Petersburg. You're listening to ABC News.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
I'm Kate Burdett on the Ohio News Network.
In south-central Ohio, 3 people were killed yesterday in a crash involving a semi about 11 miles east of Piketon. Details from OMN's Dave James.
The Ohio State Highway Patrol said it received a call about a crash at an intersection along State Route 32 just before 5 p.m. 34-year-old Stephen D. Stapleton was driving northbound on Route 335 when troopers say he didn't stop at a stop sign and was hit by a truck traveling eastbound on Route 32. Stapleton, along with 36-year-old Krista Stapleton and 73-year-old Stephen F. Stapleton, were all pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the semi was not injured. The crash remains under investigation. Dave James, ONN News.
The state's largest school district, Columbus, has a lot of job openings. Interim Superintendent Angela Chapman says they are trying to promote from within.
We are thinking about and strategizing around grow your own programs. So we know that we have several candidates that may already be in the district internally working in various roles. How do we position them so that they can have somewhat of a ladder into current existing roles?
Columbus City Schools have 205 teaching vacancies and an additional 23 other non-teaching positions open. And former Ohio State linebacker Darren Lee is facing domestic violence and assault charges. According to Franklin County court documents, Lee is accused of assaulting 2 women in 2 separate incidents. I'm Kate Burdett on the Ohio News Network.
Stand by. You're back to live and local programming in moments on the Watchdog.
Why? Just think about it. Why is the #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers to blowers. And you'll find service from experienced professionals. Real steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
The Ohio Education Association congratulates Mindy Wurst, a Title I reading teacher at Cary Elementary School, this week's education champion.
Every Leader in Need Day, we play games in the gym. It's a friendly competition that builds responsibility, teamwork, and leadership skills. It's fun to watch the kids enjoy being here, excited to come to school and learn, excited to see me. I get a chance to know every single student. I love my job. I can't imagine doing anything else.
Do you or any of your family members, neighbors, or friends own a property that you just want to be done with it? If so, call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you to take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. Call 614-470-2000. That's 614-470-2000.
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, a daytime high of 75. Mostly cloudy overnight with a low near 63. You'll see some clouds and limited sunshine for your Wednesday, but a very mild day with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
All right, welcome back into the PRP on a Watchdog as we await President Trump getting ready to turn himself in Manhattan. We got our eyes on it. We'll keep you posted as the developments unfold there. CNN's got like 9,000 police officers standing around. They probably are kind of ready for protesters and stuff like that. So we'll keep an eye on that. We got a full baseball card tonight. Buccos in action again up at Fenway Park.
Yeah.
That'll be a great spectacle, I'm sure, as usual. Lots to talk about in the sports world as we get into the Masters in the final half an hour of the show. But we still got a little bit more time before that, and we're going to finish up with our news. So we talked about President Trump a little bit in the last one, so we'll wait to see how his turn-in at the Manhattan DA's office goes here momentarily. Hopefully that goes as planned, and he's released on bail and is back in Florida here in a little bit. But who knows? They may stick it to him. They might not let him. So this is obviously politically driven, but we'll see. We'll talk about that more as it unfolds. But we're going to go to another train derailment that we have that just happened.
Incredible.
It seems like, Joe, you made a good point there. Maybe this stuff's always been happening, just didn't get talked about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't ever remember hearing about a train getting derailed unless it was like, I mean, maybe I did. I just didn't pay much attention to it. But, like, after the East Palestine thing, I feel like there have been 40 train derailments, like, just back to back to back to back.
Seems like every week we come in here.
And I'm sure, like we just said, I'm sure that back in the day a train would derail and pretty much no one would pay attention to it. But now it's like, because the big thing happened, now it's like, okay, we got to pay attention.
Why don't you tell our listeners about this latest one?
Yeah. So a train carrying powdered clay and beer, two things that we can't live
together,
without.
obviously.
Derailed adjacent to a scenic river in western Montana on Sunday. 25 rail cars derailed while inside a tunnel with very little clearance and came to a halt near the bank of the Clark Fork River, which is odd to be derailed in a tunnel. But
lovely.
Nobody was hurt. No hazardous materials were expelled, but several cases of Coors Light and Blue Moon were harmed in the incident.
Jim Bursey would have been on his way to Montana if he found out about that.
Man.
There's a lot. You see these pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness, there are
a lot of beer.
It's got to be 200. I mean, more than that. But just in this picture, just cases of beer everywhere, and they're slowly falling down into the river. Like the pain is like
they might end up in Slobovia.
Yeah.
River tributaries. Yeah. Dan will put a minnow net out trying to catch them along the bank, so that'd be good.
You just said
pulling
throw a line out.
Those shopping carts.
Yeah. But it's the powdered clay though. I don't really know what.
Interesting combination of cards.
Yeah, that's
maybe they're gonna make mugs.
Maybe they was coming for a pottery class somewhere.
These cards.
Paint and sip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clay and
pot
sip.
Paint and chug.
What would that be called though? Clay. What do they do with clay?
Mold. They mold it with their hands.
I was gonna say pot and sip, but that's a whole different thing.
What's that? Sitting on a toilet and
that or
smoking
that or
something.
from Slobovia.
Smoking some of the
maybe we're headed somewhere in Montana for pottery and sip.
All right, so Montana is obviously known for horses, not necessarily train wrecks. Coach, why don't you take this next one as we have some wild horses?
This is a new one to me. I didn't even hear anything about this. And if anybody from Belmont County can give us an update on this, or if you've seen any of these wild horses in the hills of Belmont County. Wild horses have been roaming the countryside in the Powhatan area of Belmont County in recent days. One of the horses was struck and killed March 28th by a driver along Route 7. The wild horses have begun to flourish in the area after decades of runaways, abandonments, and repopulation in the region near Little Captina Creek. You guys know where that is?
I do
No
not.
idea.
Little Captina Creek. I'll look it up.
The most recent count of the herd was between 15 and 20, with 3 being captured on Thursday. Drivers are advised to be aware on both sides of Route 7 until the remaining horses are detained. If anybody down that way in the Powhatan area, Hannibal area.
Dicey's from Powhatan.
Yeah, man, somebody would like to hear about
Dicey,
that.
call us up, 304-214-1600 if you've seen these horses running around by your house.
Every now and then we have a farm up by our house, and every now and then the horses get out of their stable and they'll run around the neighborhood. I can't imagine 20 of them going around all over the place. That's awesome.
It's like Assateague Island over in Ocean City in southern Maryland, and northern Virginia. Ponies are wild there, but I don't think that's normal around here.
I mean, can you imagine driving and hitting a horse? A deer's that's a hard impact, but a horse, that's like driving right into a wall.
No, and those horses probably aren't very nimble. Sometimes the deer hop out of the way, you only get a piece of them. The horse, you're getting the whole brunt of the horse.
Yeah, you're getting the whole horse. Little Captina Creek is down. It's a little north of Powhatan. It's right across from the Moundsville Country Club.
Ooh,
if you know where that's
Champ
at.
used to be a member there.
Yeah, Little Captina Creek. I'll see if there's anything near that.
They might make a pony swim over to Moundsville Country Club.
Well, interesting. If anybody knows anything about it, call us in. Or if you've seen it, call in.
Maybe we can go tame one.
It's near the York Township Clerk.
Wonder if Paul and Jim Bursey know anything about this.
The Little Captina. It's right on Little Captina Road.
Jeez.
So we know all about that now.
We'll keep an eye out for this. This is an intriguing story.
Yeah. Well, one thing that people don't have to worry is those horses getting ground into their meat and their produce. But one thing they might have to look out for is we got a little something special in your meatballs. What happened, Matt?
Well, it's interesting that you ask. So the elephant in the dining room. That's the play on words, obviously. An Australian company has launched a mammoth meatball contrived of lab-grown cultured meat using a the genetic sequence of a woolly mammoth, which has been extinct for over 4,000 years. This is fascinating. The launch came at an Amsterdam Science Museum last week in an effort to spark a discussion about cell-based meat, which is made from animal cells, obviously. The livestock does not need to be killed in order to produce it, which advocates say is better for the environment.
I watched a video on this thing, and it's really incredible how they grow this meat in the lab. Basically, they take a little slice of what I'm assuming they found locked away in ice a million years ago, or 4,000 years ago. But they took like a little chunk of it, and they put it in almost like a petri dish at the beginning, and they just grow. They feed this cell so that they can grow, and it turns into full-blown pieces of meat.
Meat wad.
If you see a picture of this thing,
I'm
going to be honest, it does not look very appetizing.
I wonder what it tastes like.
Well, I mean, it looks like if you think of a cartoon version of a meatball, that's exactly what it looks like.
So like meat wad in Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this picture on our social media, and I'm gonna ask people if they would eat this.
Yes, please call us.
We'll see the results here. I am Coach. Would you try a mammoth meatball made of fake mammoth?
Boy, that would be tough.
I think it's gamey.
If I knew what it was, that looks like one of Cheryl's meatballs.
They're big. They're really big.
Cheryl Doyle.
Cheryl Doyle's best meatballs in the valley.
Right across the street from the Pine Room. Her husband Jeff is one of the members of the Pine Room podcast. Once a football season, she makes her famous homemade meatballs.
Nobody misses that day.
They actually literally looked like the size of those mammoth meatballs. I mean,
304-214-1600 if you'd eat the mammoth meatball or want to talk about any of the other news stories we have going on. I don't know. Like the mammoth is probably a gamey pachyderm. Probably not very tasty, but I'd probably give it a try. I'd like to see Champ try to make a meatball sandwich.
I bet Dan from Slobobia would use those as weapons.
Those
he
tusks?
Could use those
the
meatballs,
meatballs.
like cannonballs.
I thought you meant on the mammoth tusks.
No, like cannonballs. Dan from Slobobia would fight off the cannon.
Oh, yeah.
No, he said the cannibals are nice.
Yeah,
now.
they're nice now. He's just
they
got to
eat
fight the corn monster.
I think it's the genetically engineered meat now. This reminds me of Jurassic Park, how they started to make dinosaurs.
That's what I was thinking. Like, if they can make meat, I'm assuming it would take a whole lot to actually make a whole form of the animal.
Right,
but
so they can make it in its dead form, like it's slaughtered meat producing.
Maybe eventually we'll have mammoths walking around. You won't have horses in Belmont County. You'll have mammoths.
Mammoths.
Yeah.
Well, look out for those. That'd do some damage to the car. All right, Chubb, is it time to go
I think we get in the
upward?
cockpit. Yeah, I think we go. We've had enough down here. I want to go eat some space food.
Let's get into the solar system.
All right.
Bringing you news from across the cosmos. It's time for another controversial episode of Pine Room in Space!
Sounds like the Twilight Zone.
It does.
That's a play off of the old Muppets Pigs in Space. If you go watch the intro, that's kind of where that came from. So
that mug's starting to float. Oh boy,
gravity's been lost. Watchdog's head's going up in the air.
There goes my shoe.
All right, we got a lot of not a lot, but some good news. Some good news from space. You care if I lead it off here? Something I'm really excited for because I obviously wasn't alive when they went there the first time, but. For the first time in 50 years, NASA is in the Artemis II program. Astronauts have been announced to head to the moon. NASA on Monday made public the names of the 4 astronauts who will fly around the moon late next year as part of the Artemis II moon mission. The first moon crew in 50 years consists of three Americans and 1 Canadian, and one will be led by Commander Reed Wiseman of the USA. The additional crew members are Victor Glover, Christina I think it's Koch.
I think it was Coke. I thought I heard when they announced her yesterday. I think they said Cook because I've seen it pronounced Cook, Coach, Koch. Yeah, I think they said Coke.
Maybe
so
Coke.
Christina Coke.
Who holds the record for the longest space flight by a woman, and Canada's Jeremy Hansen, a former fighter pilot and space rookie. Really cool stuff.
Sure.
Because, I mean, I love space, and I've always wondered, like, why they don't keep sending people to the moon.
Me too,
but
Joe. I've never been alive for the moon landings either.
No, I'm
It's
super
been
excited.
Way too long.
So apparently this Artemis program is to like reestablish human presence on the moon. Now I don't know. I don't believe these guys are going to be landing on the moon.
Didn't sound like it.
So maybe they will be. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they will be.
Maybe they're keeping us guessing.
Touching down.
Maybe
but
they want to make sure that everything's good before they do.
When is this taking place?
I think it said late next year.
Oh no, we're wrong.
Are they going to touch down?
Yeah, they're going to touch down. They're going to do some more scientific
good.
Stuff.
I want to really see them walk it on there. That's going to be great.
Yeah, I mean, if we could, isn't that amazing that so long ago that happened and like we haven't done it since, and the technology that we have now is just
it's astounding. Actually, it's been 50 years. And Lloyd Christmas said we landed on the moon when he was at the bar and he saw it on the way out the door. Yeah, so that
apparently
was 50 years ago.
Apparently, this is supposed to lay the groundwork for sending astronauts to Mars. So
that's great.
I mean, we're gonna check that out. Maybe we'll be the first podcast on Mars.
Oh, I'm in.
As long as we don't have to take the set up there with us.
Oh, that's our biggest worry.
I'm not going. If we got to bring the set, I'm not
As
going.
long as there's no pass interference on Mars, I'll be good. I don't want to see it. All right.
Well,
they're flagged on.
We're headed to the moon. What's happening with Japan?
Jarrett, why don't you read this one?
Japan delays H-2A launch in wake of H-3 failure. I think we talked about this last week, but it was supposed to launch Japan announced Monday that it has delayed the launch of its H-2A rocket, planned for May to no earlier than August after the failed attempt to launch its H-3 rocket in early March. The Japanese H-3 rocket was intentionally destroyed minutes after launch due to a Stage 2 ignition failure, and the cause is still being investigated. So
that's what worries me, guys.
Yeah, that's
too many failures.
There's so many different things that could go wrong.
One little thing goes wrong, and it's over.
Man, one thing I think about is you think about how much money and time and effort was put into like getting a rocket off the ground, and then it gets up there and just blows up.
Well, the challenge.
How much money is in it?
Many billions of dollars.
Yeah, and then
lost
15 seconds in. Yeah.
Coach, why don't you finish us up here in space?
It's an interesting one. Villagers claim that a baby alien died after UFO landing, and this happened in
Belmont County.
Bolivia.
The Bolivian village of Huarina claimed to have witnessed a UFO landing and multiple miniature aliens running around in the streets before one of them was found dead. The locals claim to have taken photos of what they say was a deceased extraterrestrial lying in the gutter before its body mysteriously disappeared. Wonder if the government came and got that.
There's a picture of it. It looks like a little grape, grape, like shriveled up.
Shriveled up head.
Yeah.
2 nights before the dead alien was found, onlookers saw an eerie green light in the sky coming from what they believe was an alien spacecraft. And then UFO expert Juan Carlos Aliaga told local media that he is investigating the matter. So that's interesting.
When I was reading that, I don't know. And they stole his body. Somebody stole his body, they think, or it disappeared. That's a bizarre thing. And obviously it seems so fake when you're reading it. But who knows? I don't know. They seem pretty excited about it down there.
The picture is not too convincing. I mean, it looks like a little dried up fruit laid on the ground.
It's very small.
Like there was a bunch
really
of them dancing in the streets. Like that's
it said it sent the town into a frenzy.
Well, I don't think much happens down there in that area. Although that is not far from the capital of La Paz, I don't think.
Joe, that's like when Wormy got loose in SpongeBob.
Oh, yeah, he terrorized the town.
The town
it says Marquez. I'm not sure the guy's name. Let me see if I can find it. But his name is, her name is Rita Marquez. She said, it felt like something creepy was happening, like they knew they were welcoming, their friends, you know? So I guess I don't know. I guess
very hospitable place there in Bolivia.
This town, this really interesting looking town. It's right at the base of a mountain, a big old mountain.
Is it near La Paz, the capital, Jared?
What was the town called again?
No,
Huarina.
Hey, listen to this. Listen to this. This says, due to the inexplicable events of recent days, the local authorities are looking into these reports, but have also asked the locals to not say too much about their experience.
Government cover-up.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, that's what I said.
Huarina, yeah, it is. It's northwest of La Paz. It's right on the. It's right on the water, and It's on the Lake Titicaca.
Yeah,
I was going to say that.
Titicaca.
This says while the government has made claims that the incident will be investigated, what remains unknown is why the alien, in quotes, was found dead, and whether or not it had been taken by its friends aboard the UFO before they left the scene.
Well, if you know who killed that alien, 304-214-1600, we would love to know.
Or if you know where it is.
Right. Where it is, if you can produce the alien autopsy photos, we're very interested in those as well.
Gosh, that'd be great to get him on the radio.
What would you do if you were the coroner down there and they brought that thing in?
Like a little alien?
You got to identify this thing. You have no idea the organs it has.
It'd be like the thing. It'd open up.
We can't release the names till we
Doc Copper's arms would get.
Can't release the names till we alert the next closest relatives.
Yeah.
No. That's going to be tough to do. Yeah, Coach, I think you're right. Government officials.
Oh, yeah,
involved.
they got on the scene quick.
I wish we could put this little guy on in a shirt or something. He looks like it's really funny what he looks like. It's I don't know. It looks like a bag.
What do you think the percentage is that this is actually real?
About 4%.
Yeah,
4 eyes. That's high.
Yeah.
And I'm a believer. I'm a very big believer in this stuff, but this doesn't seem like the most convincing
story.
It looks like he's been there a while. It looked like he was laying in that ditch for a while.
It looks like an old eggplant, like something that just shriveled up.
But I mean, I guess if they saw him get out and run.
Yeah.
I mean, if they saw him
apparently
run,
he had friends. There was other ones there dancing in the streets.
Wonder what happened to the other ones. I
Maybe
guess
they were
escaped.
at the mayonnaise and mustard festival.
Oh,
down there
they had just left Slobovia.
They were so excited they decided to put the craft down. They had to take a break, stretch your legs.
They stopped in to see the corn monster.
Yeah, they were stopping for
that might have been what killed that kid.
A quick bite to eat in Huarina, Bolivia.
Yeah. The fact that they got out and ran around, maybe that is real. Maybe they did see something.
You never know.
I want to see. I hope they get some footage. These people might not have had working video cameras. I don't know what
who knows?
Century they're in.
Well, maybe they ate the mushrooms from Slobovia.
They could have.
That's what happened.
Or the aliens destroyed the remnants of the videos, which is very possible.
Hey, real quick, breaking news. We got a couple minutes left. Breaking news, space news. Breaking news while we're up here in the shuttle. Coherent, in quotes, radio signal from alien planet hints possibility of life outside Earth.
Oh, man,
we just
so cool.
that just from the New York Post. We just got a ping from some planet.
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing?
Oh,
that'd be like a quiet place.
Man.
We'll have to be quiet. That isn't going to work very well for us.
No,
Champ's going down real fast. That coffee won't be able to stop it.
He might be the first one on the planet.
He's the first guy. Yeah, he's definitely he has no chance. Dicey, call us about these horses in
It'll never work.
304-214-1600.
Or if you're from Huarina, call us about the aliens.
Right.
Give us a call.
Right.
Please.
We got Vatican City checking in. Why not Bolivia and Powhatan?
Yeah, heck, our signal should reach down there, I would think.
Are they just going to show these police officers?
Yeah, they're famous now. These police officers are famous.
If anybody's
they're trying to do their job, and it's like they're.
Yeah. If obviously a lot of people aren't watching this, they're just focused on waiting for Donald Trump to arrive. What time was he supposed to be there?
It said 2:15, but you know him. It's
fashionably
late.
And they got these police officers just standing.
They stopped at 7-Eleven.
Looks like
he needed
a big gulp,
he needed a
like
Slim Jim.
Well, he likes Diet Coke.
You see about 7 of them standing here in this hallway, waiting right outside the courtroom. I'm assuming, and waiting on Donald Trump to arrive. Biggest news in the world right now. Unbelievable.
BJT.
Yeah. I mean, up until yesterday, I didn't really know what was going on. I had to look it up. I really haven't been paying much attention to it.
Yeah, it's funny how they could have done this like 4 years ago. They waited till now. But
do you think most people what do you think the percentage of people in the country are with Trump, against Trump, or don't care?
Recently,
obviously based on geography is going to play a huge role. Where you're located matters.
I would say recently, I think a strong majority is going into the don't care region.
Yeah,
It's
like let's get it over. Let's get him in, find out what's going on, and get it over with.
I'm anxious to hear what people say who were mad about Trump when they got off his train, because there's a lot of people that liked him, then changed, and now I wonder what they think of the current
arriving?
regime.
This might be him.
Got some people coming through, a bunch of suits
some
coming
people
through.
in suits coming through. They're following them, but they got the wrong people, it looks like.
I don't think. How would you like to have to go down there on business today? Like you
had
an arraignment before in Manhattan.
Oh man!
Like you got picked up for misdemeanor. Like you had a headlight or
like
a tail light out.
You got a speeding ticket.
Right, and you have to go down and appear on this day. And the judge says, no, you must appear.
Yeah.
Where could you park?
The general consensus, though, is that there's not going to be a big disturbance down there. They think it's going to be pretty low key.
It should be.
Yeah.
I guess you're not even going to be. We're not even really.
There he comes. There he comes. Donald is in the house. Red tie, blue suit, looking sharp as ever. He's got a bunch of guys.
He doesn't look too amused today.
Nah, it's just wasted his time. Probably.
Wasting a lot of time.
He's on business like Mr. Tucker.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to Mayberry?
Yeah, he's going to Mayberry.
What do you guys think of Stormy Daniels?
I don't really know
I don't
much
even know
of her.
really what she looks like.
Nah, you don't want to. I don't know. Dawn could have done better, but there he is. They're replaying it now. How many times are you going to see this week? Like forever. It'll be the front page of all the papers tomorrow. Too bad they didn't have him in handcuffs. They would have been really excited about that, especially CNN right here.
How many counts? How many? What, 22?
Over 30.
Oh, is it over 30? I thought it was like 22.
Felonies, too.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
We'll see.
Well, Dawn will prevail, hopefully. At least that's my take.
I always like to get Howard's Monroe's take on this. He'll
be talking about tomorrow.
He is not a Trump liker at all. He is. He really dislikes. I'm using
Trump's a polarizing figure. I get that, but I like a lot of the things that he did. So. Personal thoughts aside. All right, we're going to take a break on the Pine Room podcast on the Watchdog. We'll be back to wrap it up with, we'll give you a little more Donald Trump, and then the Masters, a tradition like none other, and Jim Nance will be on the call. I can't wait. Really excited. All right, PRP on the Watchdog. We'll be right back.
Babies come with lots of decisions.
Cloth or disposable? Crib or bassinet?
So when it comes to protection, go with the safest, most effective choice, vaccination. Get all the recommended vaccines for your baby by age 2 to protect your child against 14 serious childhood diseases. For more reasons to vaccinate, talk to your child's doctor. Go to cdc.gov/vaccines or call 800-CDC-INFO. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
When deciding where to dine in the Ohio Valley, think first of the Highlands, with a full array of quick service choices from McDonald's, Wendy's, Five Guys, Taco Bell, Jersey Mike's, Jimmy John's, Chick-fil-A, or DeCarlo's Pizza. Or you can dine in at Eden Park, Primanti Brothers, Texas Roadhouse, El Paso, or Quaker Steak and Lube. Whatever your family's in the mood for, you can find it just off I-70 at the top of the hill. The Highlands, dining, shopping, entertainment, and lodging.
Get 11% off everything at Menards. Protect and maintain your wood surfaces with Minwax stains and finishes. They offer a great variety of easy-to-use products that provide a beautiful, rich color that enhances the natural wood grain. Start with a finish that will last for years to come. Minwax oil-based wood finish is $10.99 per quart after 11% rebate. Good through April 9th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards. How much could a cyber attack cost your business? The costs stemming from a cyber attack can vary tremendously, but are extremely significant. Recent studies have shown that the average cost of a data breach to small business can range from $120,000 to $1.2 million. In addition to financial loss, companies also suffer downtime, lost opportunities, and data recovery expenses that can all quickly add up. Could your organization survive a cyber incident? If you are unsure if you are doing enough to protect your data, reputation, and dollars from cyber criminals, contact the team at Omni Strategic Technologies today. Omni has the right tools and support to help keep your business protected. Call 304-242-7600 and schedule your free consultation today, or visit omniperforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only cybersecurity and advisory firm that the Watchdog trusts.
The Ohio Education Association congratulates Mindy Wurst, a Title I reading teacher at Cary Elementary School, this week's Education Champion.
Every Leader in Need Day, we play games in the gym. It's a friendly competition that builds responsibility, teamwork, and leadership skills. It's fun to watch the kids enjoy being here, excited to come to school and learn, excited to see me. I get a chance to know every single student. I love my job. I can't imagine doing anything else.
Do you or any of your family members, neighbors, or friends own a property that you just want to be done with it? If so, call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you to take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. Call 614-470-2000. That's 614-470-2000.
Why? Just think about it. Why is the #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers to blowers. And you'll find service from experienced professionals. Real steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Want to know what's up in Wheeling? Tune in Wednesdays at noon for Your Wheeling. No two ways about it. With Mayor Glenn Elliott and Vice Mayor Chad Thalman. Live and local. Only on the Watchdog.
Hi, Tommy Kirchhoff will talk line on Metro News. If you missed the last show, you missed. Results of a poll showing that Governor Jim Justice, if he decides to run for the U.S. Senate, has a commanding lead over fellow Republican Alex Mooney. Now, coming up on the next talk line, more on the Trump indictment. Also, things are happening in West Virginia. We keep you posted on all that. Talk line, 10:06 Tuesday morning, right here on this Metro News radio station. We'll talk to you then.
Yeah, I've been throwing down the whiskey. I ought to get my money back.
All right, welcome back into the PRP on the Watchdog as Donald Trump has come through the doors of the Manhattan District Attorney Office, going in there taking care of his business. We'll keep you posted on that. We're going to talk some golf now. The Masters teeing off on Thursday morning from Augusta, Georgia. Bad weather in the forecast, Coach. This puts a little wrinkle in things. I'm excited to get your thoughts on it and see if you think that weather's going to make an impact here.
Yeah, bad weather there, but supposed to be beautiful weather here all weekend. Supposed to be gorgeous here, so we're not going to have to deal with any rain. So anybody has Easter plans, looks like mid to higher 60s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So
great,
gorgeous weekend for us. But like you said, the winds and the rain are going to affect Augusta. So it's going to be interesting. I haven't done any real research on guys that play well in the windy conditions. A lot of the foreigners are better in the windy conditions. But, so a couple sidebars, with the live golfers being able to play in this. And I for those of you who don't know, obviously about the live golfers and our PGA guys, I don't know if this is the only tournament the live golfers are going to play in?
No, they can play. They're allowed to play in the British Open and the U.S. Open as of now because they're not run by the PGA.
Okay, and I was going to say it's an actual PGA Tour event, but it's not run by the PGA. The members of the Augusta National Golf Club run this tournament, and then the members decided that they would let any player who has qualified for the Masters, whether they're in live golf or the PGA, to participate. So that's why this one in particular. The rest are governed by the PGA, So they are not. They've totally outlawed the live guys playing in the tour events. So
yes,
going to be interesting. I don't think there'll be any issues with those guys playing against each other in groups or at their banquet on Thursday. I don't think there'll be any issues there, or on Wednesday.
Yeah, DJ, Patrick Reed, those guys are past winners. Like they're gonna go to the banquet.
Oh yeah, there's some live guys that'll be going to the banquet, so that'll be interesting. But I don't think there's going to be any issues. I think Mickelson will be under a lot of microscopes.
Yeah, remember he skipped last year.
Yeah. So I think he'll be under a lot of microscopes just because his involvement.
Phil, minus 130 to make the cut. What do you think?
I don't think he'll make the cut.
You think he'll succumb to the pressure?
Yep. And his game is not, man. He's not even playing well in the live circuit. So I don't see him. I don't see him playing well at all. And I don't see him getting by Friday. I really don't.
How about Tiger, minus 165 to make the cut?
Oh, I think Tiger will make the cut. I don't think he'll finish inside the top 25, but I think he'll make the cut.
He's just so good at this course.
Well, it's just, he knows the course better than anybody. He's played there. What's he won it 5 times? Yeah, 5-time champion. I mean, he's it's just a 4-day grind for him will be difficult.
How about some of these other live guys? Brooks Koepka, what do you expect out of him?
Well, that's an interesting one. I
won last week on live.
Yeah, and he's playing well, but you know how he can be. Which Brooks Koepka will you get?
Right. Think you'll know early on.
Yeah,
if he's dialed in.
I agree.
And then look out. If you see him starting to make birdies early, I would be aware because he's very motivated. I know to show well here. With all
I
the
agree.
He's taking.
Yeah, I agree. But him again, he's as you said, you'll know early, and he's a crapshoot. I'm not.
He is.
And if there's any golf coaches or golf guys, give us your opinion on the Masters. I'd love to hear some real good insight on guys that play the game a lot and watch the game a lot. I'd like to hear your thoughts on who you think might be a dark horse with a big 3. Definitely win this. I think Rory's going to try to do the Grand Slam, right? This is the only one.
He hasn't won a major since 14.
I saw that. That is hard to believe.
I don't know. I need something about him. He can't close anymore. I think the caliber of golfer is so.
I don't
much
think
better
he'll win.
I don't think he will either. I expect him to be up in the top 10 probably,
yeah.
but I don't expect him to win. And as you said, the big 3, obviously with Scotty Scheffler and Jon Rahm, they're right now regarded as the 3 best golfers on the planet. I don't get the Rory McIlroy love. The guy doesn't win enough for me. To me, Scheffler and Rahm far and away better than Rory McIlroy, but people love Rory McIlroy. He's Mr. PGA Tour.
I think Cam Smith, of all the live guys, I think he'll be.
Right. So he's your top live guy
yes,
you're going to put?
Yeah,
I would agree with that. I think him and Koepka. I'm anxious to see how Koepka does early because I like him. 35-1 on Brooks Koepka. You wouldn't even have dreamed of getting that at the Masters a few years ago. He would have been lucky to be outside about 12 to 14-1. So you're getting a great price. You're getting a great price on a lot of these guys. Dustin Johnson was never.
I was just going to ask
20.
you. I was just going to ask you about him.
I think he'll be motivated. I do.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that only shows up when he feels like it. So now again, if he hits a few bad shots early, he may pack it in because that's the way he is. But I expect a good performance out of him. Patrick Reed, I know he'll scramble. His game is not very sharp right now, but, man, he's going to really want to stick it to these people. Be awesome if him and Rory get paired up.
Oh,
they got court cases going on. They got feuds going on. Abraham Answer, another live guy. Charles Schwartzel. Louis Oosthuizen is always on the leaderboard in the majors usually. Mito Pereira. You got a lot of guys who are dangerous. Joaquin Neiman. I mean, these guys are kind of getting ignored, I feel like.
I agree. And I like a couple. I like Mito Pereira as a long shot to finish in the top like 20.
Right.
I like him a little bit. I do. I like Abraham Answer.
Yeah, it's just a great. If he's 20-1 to be in the top 5. I mean, you're getting good prices on these guys that you never would have dreamed of getting prior to their exit. How about some of the former? You mentioned Phil Mickelson. How about Bubba Watson? What do you?
It's interesting. I was just reading an article on him today. He's a crazy player. He's a wild player. Some of the shots he makes and the chances he takes, and you never know with him either. I wouldn't bet on him. I wouldn't bet at all on him. I haven't put him in any of my matchups, or I haven't done anything with him yet.
Matt,
yes, please. Joe.
Real quick, I know we're on golf right now, but I know you requested a call from Dicey about the horses.
Hello, Dicey. Welcome to the
Hey.
Pine Rim Podcast. Tell us about these horses taking over the
Oh.
Powhatan area.
Okay, so like me, these horses are taking over Powhatan by storm. This has been a problem since 2018, by the way.
Okay.
They've just some guy owned them, and he died in 2018, and nobody took care of his horses, and they've just slowly been multiplying.
Oh, goodness.
So, yeah, it's just been an ongoing problem until.
Have you come across any of these when you were driving around home?
Oh yeah, of course. They're actually always up on where they carved away the hillside.
Oh.
If you look up, you can see them at the top because everyone's always worried about them falling.
Oh, wow.
But no, this has been an ongoing problem.
Have you ever returned home after a night of drinking and decided to try to ride one of them?
No, but now that they're close to the road, maybe I can manage that.
That would be fun. I think you should get that pet one to go with your dogs.
Right.
Have they ever wandered down into the district, like the city and the town, and caused any issues, like in yards or people's porches or anything?
I'm not sure about down in town, but I know some people that live up on that hill have had some problems with them. But it's been since 2018, and they're pretty wild. Nobody's been able to wrangle them so far.
Wow, that's interesting. I can't believe 5 years and nobody has been able to get them under control.
They caught 3 of them the other night, so I don't know.
Yeah, and there's plenty more, I'm sure. Like I said, they just keep multiplying.
Wonderful stuff. All right, well, thanks for checking in. We
that's
appreciate
great.
the update. Keep us posted on that if you find out anything or anyone you know hits one.
Right, or if I get the ride one.
Yeah, I was going to
All
say, if you ever capture one, call us. The Pine Room will come down and we'll practice our riding skills.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks,
guys.
Dicey.
Bye, Dicey.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, that was friend of the Pine Room.
She's Powhatan or
Powhatan, yeah.
She's Powhatan.
Yeah, she lives in Powhatan, or actually, she's a nomad. I don't. She lives in Athens. For
Wait,
school and
so Powhatan, what high school does
she went to Bellsville.
Oh, Bellsville's back. Yeah, Hannibal's River, right?
Yeah.
If you live in Hannibal, you go to River. If you live in Powhatan, you go to Bellsville. Huh.
Bellsville, and that way out there.
Blue Devils.
They're not very sport oriented, are they?
They had a.
She's the all-time leading shot blocker there, Dicey. is.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Girls basketball. Yeah.
Wow, we should have had her on right with Chase.
Talk about glory days,
Oh,
right?
maybe more with Soup.
Yeah,
Because Soup was the best charge taker.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, thanks for the
Dicey
call. Thank
horse-
you. That was
the horse update.
great information. I'm sure that's answered a lot of questions for people that have dying to know about the horses.
Keep your eyes open out there.
Hey, I was just looking back to the Masters. I'm looking at some of these like long shots. Matthew McLean, Jose Maria
Olazabal. He's a former winner.
Yeah.
He's like 100 years old.
Larry Mize, Sandy
Same.
Lau are all plus 500,000.
Those are guys that won, so they get a lifetime. They can play in this for the rest of their life.
Oh, really?
So Larry Mize and Sandy Lau, they all won the Masters years and years.
I didn't know that.
Is there an age limit?
Not really. I mean, until you can swing a club, or you can't swing a club.
And then some of these like other real long shots, Ben Carr, Harrison Crow, Mike Weir, and Vijay Singh.
Yeah, Vijay Singh and Mike Weir, former winners. Some of those other guys you mentioned are amateurs, so they invite amateurs there too. So that's another thing you can bet on that as well. You can do top ranking amateur things like that. So yeah,
I think my favorite name that I hear though, Mateo Fernandez de Oliveira.
Ooh.
I like that. He's plus 20,000 or 200,000 to win. So
he's got some zing to
let's
his
see.
name.
One of the matchups of the older guys that I took. Let's see. Oh shoot! I had Bernhard Langer over Freddie Couples. I'd taken Langer over
Both of those
Couples.
guys are really good at this course, even
Yeah.
at their old age. That'll be a really good matchup. Fred
Yeah.
Couples sometimes hangs in on the leaderboard, and Bernhard Langer last year made the cut and was off maybe the top 15.
How about Sergio against Tiger?
Yeah, Sergio. Hey, I mean, I don't know. I just don't see Sergio's game anymore, so I don't know. I like Sergio. I've always liked him. A lot of people don't, but I would maybe lean Tiger there, but I would probably stay away from that.
That's an interesting one. That's the only matchup that I saw Tiger against right now. How about DeChambeau against Harold Varner?
I'm going to lean Harold Varner. I think
Me too.
DeChambeau's life's a mess. I think he the last time he was here, he was horrible, and I expected. He's a pretty fragile guy, so I'll go Harold Varner.
I'm gonna be interested to see how DeChambeau plays here. I when he falls apart, he could be really bad.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not sure this course plays well to his game. I'm gonna see if he calms down a little bit and tries to play a controlled game. It's going to be interesting to see what he does. They have moved a couple of par fives back,
right? Which they needed to do.
Yeah, the 13th, the par 5 13th. They moved that 35 yards longer because guys are reaching that in 2. Because they can hit so far now. It's now they're laying up now a lot more on the 13th par 5, and then last year they moved another one of the par 5s back. But these guys hit it so far now, they can only make the hole so long.
Right.
There's only so much room that they can work with. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be a lot of fun. The weekend of the Masters is really, really, really a fun day. And then on Sunday too, you have the dirt race at Bristol. That's I'm not a real big fan of that race, but anytime it's at Bristol, it's awesome. So
I remember last year, I think it was the dirt. I think it rained.
Yeah.
The day before.
Yeah.
And the dirt was just caked on all the cars. But yeah, that's. Have you've been to Bristol, haven't you?
Oh yeah, not the dirt race, but yeah, the regular race. That's a fun track to go to. If you're a NASCAR fan, that's a really loud track. I mean, you can't, if you're sitting next to somebody and you're trying to talk to them, you can't. It's very difficult because it's so loud in there.
It is.
It's a lot of fun. It's a great track, but the weekend's good. Baseball's cranking up, and then we got the Masters obviously, and Easter, and families getting together. It's really a fun weekend.
Yeah, Buccos tonight.
Oh, can't
wait.
Big time. Yeah, huge. Oh. Yeah, the Buccos. All right, Coach, let me ask you a few of these Tiger props. Let's see. Tiger birdies in the first round, over under 3.5.
I would probably play that under the first day.
Yeah,
you say
round 1.
First round, I would probably play under 3.5 birdies for him.
3.5 minus 130 to the under.
Yeah, I would play to the under.
Yeah.
Oh, the under.
Under's
okay.
favorite.
Okay.
Let's see. Tiger Woods. Oh, geez, they got hole-in-one props, so that's not going to happen. What do you think these weren't very good. Tiger Woods, any bogey-free round, $7. Yes, that's going to be tough.
Is there a hole-in-one yes, no?
Trying to find. Yeah, there is somewhere, but they have. I'm on DraftKings right now and some of the other sites. There's so many props. It takes you hours.
Do they have a prop on a projected cut line?
No, I haven't seen that yet. Normally, it'd probably be around, I don't know, 2 over, 1 over.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Like
one or two. Yeah.
How about some of these guys? Do you think there's any big names that may miss the cut?
Wow, that's a good question.
Usually there always is. Like Spieth missed it last year, I think, and I think somebody else. DeChambeau, obviously, and I feel like there was one other big name guy that missed it last year.
Well, that's tough to say right now.
I know
it's just hard that there's so many good golfers. My goodness, I don't know. I don't know who I would say would miss the cut. They all come ready to play, man, on this course and this weekend. This is just something these guys look forward to on the circuit. So, yeah. I would say I don't know. I couldn't say. Yeah, I think. I mean, I could see a guy like Tony Finau maybe falling apart. You like Finau?
I do. I think he's he plays well on this course. Hopefully he doesn't dislocate his ankle with a par 3 like he did.
How about that?
Year.
That's unbelievable.
And then he ended up playing still and played good. I like his game. I don't know if he can close it out though. That's his biggest issue. Is just being able to finish, and that's what makes these guys, Scheffler and Rahm especially, so good. It's just the way they close.
Yeah.
They just don't give you. And if they give you an inch or just a little room to get in the door, then they slam it right on you usually, and that's what separates these really good guys from the absolute elite. Because, I mean, there's so many good players. Let me ask you about Jason Day. His game's back. He's playing great. He's had a great season. He's had a lot of good course history here. What do you think of his chances?
I like him. I have him down as one of. I think he's 22-1. Did you happen to say that?
Yeah,
odds?
yeah. He's about 20. I've seen between 20 and 24-1. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll be a guy that you could play in the top 10.
Yep.
I think top 10, top 15. That would be a good play.
Top 10 plus 210 on.
I was going to say you could probably get a good value on that. I think he's playing well. Cam Young, you said you like him. He's one of your guys that you like.
He's hot. He's got a good caddy now, and caddy's important at this course. Like Bones Mackay is, he always says like these caddies are as important as the player. When he's winning, with Phil Mickelson, and he's coming out of the boot to be on Justin Thomas this week. So keep an eye out for that. Justin Thomas really good at attacking pins. Him and Colin Morikawa, great iron players.
I like Morikawa.
I think Morikawa is going to be really good if it rains. I think his iron play is so good, attacking pins, and these pins are difficult. And if you have a wet green, soggy green, it's easier to make that ball sit down. And his putting's not very good, so the closer he can get to the hole, to the pin, I think it will benefit him. I will look out for him if the rain stays in the forecast as a dangerous player here.
Hey, anybody you're fading? Any of the good guys you're fading?
I'll be against Rory, but I won't be against him too much because I know he's still going to churn out a pretty good showing. Boy, I was looking down through guys. Spieth, I'm with you. I think Spieth could win.
I do too.
Normally, I'd be a little concerned about him. No, there's no one that I really absolutely can't.
What about JT?
I think he'll be good because I think the rain will help him. I think he'll be dialed in. Victor Hovland worries me a little bit. I like his game. I don't know how good his game is right now. Same with Zalatoris, who's played really well in the Masters in the past. So maybe he finds that the momentum that he once had there. I don't know. I can't bet guys like Scheffler and Rahm at 7-1. It's just a terrible price. There's so many good players you can get great value on. I mean, Hideki Matsuyama 45-1. He's a past winner. His game's in pretty good shape.
He's a guy, and you always say this before. He's a guy you might want to bet after the second round.
He's really good.
Yeah, he makes a cut, and then he's sitting like 2-3 over.
Yep.
He might be a guy to play.
He is really, really good at following up a poor round with a good round. One of the best guys I've ever seen, and a lot of times if he plays bad on Saturday at the Masters, play him on Sunday in any matchups or anything you can get because he usually shoots a very low score. I don't know. A couple of these guys that like I'm fans of Tommy Fleetwood and Terrell Hatton, but I just don't love their games right now, so I'm not going to be playing them. Even with the wind, it benefits those kinds of guys, the European guys, as you mentioned, and the Australian guys, always very, very good in the wind, so take that into account. Matt Fitzpatrick's game has not been very good this year, so those guys all worry me. Guys I like, but I just don't love them here in this spot. I do think that an American is likely to win this tournament. Maybe an outsider like an Australian and Jason Day, but or Cam Smith. Those are two pretty stud Australians. Justin Rose is a guy I love. I love his game right now.
His
odds are very good. You can get him in probably 50 to 60 to 1, which is down from around 90 that he was a few weeks ago before he won at Pebble Beach. And he finished top 6 at the Players too. His game is back. This guy's a really good putter. He'll save a lot of mistakes on the putting greens. And if he's able to attack these pins and hit the greens, if Justin Rose hits greens, he'll be in contention here. He's that good of a putter. So I think his game's trending backwards, so I think he's my best value play. And as far as guys that I think will win, I would say Morikawa, Cam Smith, and Xander Schauffele would be my top guys. And then very interested in Koepka, as I mentioned, and Jason Day to see how they perform here. What about yours? What are some of your top
good
guys?
calls there because everybody could say the big three. That's I think that's an easy play. So you're looking for, as you said, you're looking for value.
Yes.
You're looking for the guy who might come out of nowhere. And I'm with you. I think Cam Smith's he's too good. He doesn't get rattled. He's really, really good. And I'm going to play Spieth. I like Spieth to win it. I really, really like Spieth to win it. And then I'm going to play Max Homa too. I think Max Homa, even though in his last 3 Masters he's missed the cut and then T48 last year, so he hasn't been good, but he's playing very, very well right now.
Maturing as a player.
Yes,
too.
and I like Max Homa. I like Max Homa to really make a charge and be there on Sunday with his name.
How about some long shots? Anybody you're interested in that's a decent price?
Let me see who
One guy. While you look through your notes there, obviously Justin Rose probably wouldn't be considered a long shot anymore, but he had been previously in the season before he started playing. Danny Willett's a guy I would look at.
Yeah.
He won this before, and I have not been a Danny Willett fan, but I'm impressed with him. I thought his game was finished. I thought he was going to be one of those guys that wins and then you never hear from him again. He's resurrected his game, and I'm not saying he'll win, but I would take a look at him. You can get decent prices on him for top 10s and top 20s, a really strong price. Top 10, 9-1. So take a shot with Danny Willett. I think he could be a dangerous. Billy Horschel's another guy, can go very low. He's not been good at this course, though. That worries me. But if it's raining, then he can attack pins. I think he could be good. And then Mackenzie Hughes and Francesco Molinari, both guys who have played this course really, really well. Both 300-1 to win it. You can get great prices on those guys.
Keith Mitchell is a guy, too, that could make some noise here, too.
Yes.
I like him a little bit. And then a lot of people, and this isn't as long shot as those guys, but Sunjay M is getting a lot of look to be on that leaderboard come Sunday. So that's a couple guys. I have Keith Mitchell on one of my fantasy teams as a strong play.
Yeah,
I'm a Matt Kuchar fan, but I don't think he'll. I don't know if he'll be around come Sunday.
No, did he even make it? I don't think Kuch made it because he didn't win last week. He needed to win and in. I thought.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right. I had him written from last week. Yeah, from the Valero.
Because Kuch was right into Valero.
Yeah. Because he and
Fowler
Fowler,
win. Right.
he and Fowler both needed to win. Yeah.
No, I love Kuchar. I'd love to see him get his game back. And Ricky Fowler's starting to come back a little bit, which is good to see because he's good for the game. How about Patrick Cantlay? That's a guy I think is dangerous here. I don't love the way his game's been, but he's sneaky, and he can really, really shoot low scores sometimes, so I would keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I would say so. Jarrett, you got anybody you like?
No idea. I have no.
You'll be.
How about Jubb? Who's your?
You'll be hunting Easter eggs while this is going on.
Oh, Jubb's picking Phil. All right.
Jubb.
If I had to,
Jubb and Jarrett will be going on the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with good Tiger.
All right, Tiger versus Phil in the back nine. Jarrett and Jubb. All right, well, that about does it for us. Be sure and check us out on Instagram and social media, at the Pioneer Podcast, and you can also see us on Twitter as well. We'll post all these picks. We'll have more picks on Bettor's Last Stand, so be sure and follow that if you're interested in the gambling picks and the Masters picks. That does it for us today on a Tuesday. We'll be back in the studio on Thursday.
Great show, guys.
Much more interesting stuff to talk about. It was a great job by Jubb. Great job by all of our callers. We appreciate everybody that called into the show.
Chase Harler. Thanks, Chase.
And thanks to Chase. We'll be talking to him soon. All right. Have a great Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be back here Thursday. I was going to say Happy Easter, but we'll talk to you before then.
Enjoy the beautiful weather.
Yes. All right, Ohio Valley. This is the Pioneer Podcast on the Watchdog. Thanks for listening. We will see you Thursday.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling.
He looked right at the camera. One thing Donald Trump always knows, in whatever room he is in, is where the camera is. And he looked right at the camera, glared at the camera.
Trump appearing before the judge who's familiar with the bookkeeping of the Trump Organization, having previously sentenced as former CFO. ABC Chief Legal Analyst Dan Abrams.
This is a judge who had promised Alan Weisselberg a 5-month sentence and who said that at the end of the trial, that after everything he had heard in the case, that if he hadn't promised Weisselberg just 5 months, he would have given him more time.
And ABC News legal analyst and attorney Jeffrey Robbins says this is new territory for Trump.
This is a very different setting for him, and he is going to have to be hugely careful of what he says. My guess is, however, that you can't undo 75 years of not being careful about what you say, and so his lawyers are going to have their hands full.
After courts, Trump soon to be heading for the airport. He'll fly to Florida and speak this evening from Mar-a-Lago. History in Europe proclaimed today by U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Brussels.
We can now declare that Finland is the 31st member of the North Atlantic